Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us here on the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network, also featured on The Roar on 99.1, 93.5, and 94.7 HD2. Good morning, everyone.
It's a rough one around here. Yeah, I can tell, just at this desk.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, my goodness.
There's a
My
lot
back
of-
is broken.
Your
Yeah.
back is broken.
Yep. I'm on 3 hours of sleep, so I feel like a drug addict.
Do you at least have coffee?
Hmm?
You have coffee.
Yeah,
We're
got
good.
the coffee.
Coffee, it's doing its job.
Yeah.
I'm alive this morning. I literally couldn't even brush my teeth before I had a sip of coffee. That's how desperate I was this morning.
Got his dead
I
side.
want to start the morning off in kind of with a different tone. You know, usually we come out with either one of the hotter topics that we want to come out with, but today, and really last night, if you watched the Wings play, yeah, Raymond got a goal.
Mo Sider
Larkin looked good.
looked pretty good.
But Mo Sider, that looked like a Norris Winder to me.
I know. I know.
And that leads me to this question. We'll talk about the game maybe in depth a little later. Which Detroit team is closest, or I should even closer, to not only a championship, but making a championship run?
Yeah.
Which Detroit team? And I'm sorry, last night, and this is probably the 15th, 20th time, and I may finish the season saying this another 10 times. The Detroit Red Wings are the golden standard.
Yep.
And not only in this town, but just especially in the NHL. And you couldn't convince me the other way, outside of this team is 2-3 years away from starting to make significant runs come June-ish. I think this team has it. You look at their core, they have the rookie leader in wins in Alex Nedeljkovic. They have the rookie points leader in Lucas Raymond. And they have the rookie assist leader, which is a defenseman,
Yeah.
in Mo Sider. And I could make the argument Mo Sider should get Norris Trophy votes.
Yeah.
And I could make the argument that Nedeljkovic, who's essentially top 5 in every major category right now for goalies. I mean, it is unbelievable to watch. And often we have questions in life, and the answers are really easy. And I think today is one of those days.
Yeah.
For me, it's the Red Wings, and it's not even close. You can talk to me about Cade Cunningham and the Pistons project. You can talk to me about the Tigers, who I feel really confident. I think they win the Central this year if there is baseball. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, there's the Lions, but they're in a rebuild right now. It's easy for me to say the Red Wings. But when I tell you the Red Wings are 2, 3, 4 years away from winning a cup, I mean it. They're not far off, man. That core is only going to get better. They're going to have salary cap space over the next 2-3 seasons. They're going to be able to acquire significant skaters, whether it's on the offensive or defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
You have the kid overseas right now in Europe, 19-year-old defending skater. He'll likely be on the team next year. And he looks every bit as good as Mo Sider does. Confident, offensive production. I think the only thing you're missing out of Sider right now is goal scoring, but you don't really care because he is a defenseman. He is unbelievable. The way he handled himself in the penalty kill last night, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Dude was skating around for fun.
Maturity, man.
I think the Wings are the closest team. Jeff?
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I think the conversation, it really goes from, I have the Red Wings, the Tigers. The most interesting part of the whole question is who's closer, the Pistons or the Lions? I think that's the real debate there, because now you have the Pistons, who they've won most recently in 2004, and they've won historically. The Lions haven't done so. But a lot of people, you feel comfortable about who's in charge for the Lions now. You have Brad Holmes, this regime, Dan Campbell, and all the assistants and what they're building with all the draft capital. So I would definitely be the Red Wings, man. Like in terms of not only what they have now, who's coming up the pipeline, and who's in charge. It all ties back together. Now, it's not even about Jeff Blashill. It's about the talent there and what Yzerman has. I trust the Weiser plan, the Yzerman plan. This man has proved us year two now. You got Lucas Raymond, you got Mo Sider. Mo Sider, the most mature rookie, especially as a defenseman. If you watched last night's game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And with these two franchises, the Red Wings and Tigers, I would say Red Wings as number one, Tigers, and I agree with you. I don't think it's close, but I don't know how you can't have the Tigers too. That really it's 3 and 4, and that's for me. I'm going Pistons, then the Lions, because history tells us something different, and the Pistons have something the Lions don't have, and that's a superstar player. And in the NBA, it takes less of those to win championships. So I would go Red Wings definitely. I'm more comfortable with who those guys are going to become, Larkin getting better, and what Yzerman has, coming up the pipeline with different guys in Kosa and other guys. So it would have to be the Red Wings. I don't see how anybody else. I mean, if you could even argue the Tigers, it'd be tough. The Red Wings are the clear number one favorite in Detroit. Not to guarantee a championship, but the closest to maybe winning a Stanley Cup. They're definitely the closest out of all the teams.
Yeah, look, if I was going to give them 1 through 4, definitely the Wings 1, Tigers 2. I would say the Lions 3 and the Pistons 4. And I'll tell you why. I have no idea what a championship roster around Cade Cunningham looks like right now. You can't guarantee me Sadiq Bey will be here in 2-3 years. Killian Hayes, what does he develop into? Isaiah Stewart's nice, but he's nice off the bench. He's not a starting center in this league, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Pistons have a lot of questions to answer. So do the Lions, of course. Don't get me wrong; they need a quarterback. But for me, it's about 1 and 2, and I think everybody in Detroit should be and is most confident in the Red Wings,
have to be,
and the Tigers. And look, I've been saying it for months now, and I'm not going to move off of it. I think the Tigers not only compete, win the Central. I do. I really do. I think they're going to be able to do it. I think they have not only do I know they have the best manager in baseball. And when I look at the Wings, fair or not fair, I know Jeff Blashill likely isn't the coach in 2 years. Fair or not?
That's fair.
I don't think he is that guy, but I think he's doing a good job developing this team.
Mm-hmm.
I love what he did by putting Zadina on the first line last night, dropping Nemetsnikov to the third line, and it worked. It sure as hell worked. You got production out of both of them. And last night, I think what I took away the most from the Wings is I'm not asking for 6 goals a night, okay? I'm not. What I am asking for is a first period like that more often. Just more often. Not every game, more often. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 shots on net. You're coming out skating, playing with confidence. You don't finish the first period with 4 shots and the opposing team with 6. And it's a gritty game. Look, sometimes you're going to have those nights. I have no problem with it. But that has been one of my biggest frustrations with the Red Wings, is their inability to create offense, especially in the opponent's zone, where they don't look fresh. If fresh is even the right word to say it. Their ability to skate in their opposing team's zones is one of their biggest problems. And last night you saw them skate pretty freely. And whether you want to label that down to Philadelphia not playing well, I guess that's fair. But please, I would love to see that kind of offensive output. Forget the goals. That kind of offensive output in terms of shots.
Yeah, shots.
Getting quality shots near the hashes, just outside of the puck drop. That to me is a sign of a team developing. Not just the goals. The goals come and go. Happens. But if you get me 30, 35 shots a game, oh, goodness, I'd be happy. I'd feel real good about the Wings moving forward. But, Maddy, we got to go to break. When we get back, Aaron Rodgers played golf yesterday. Or has been playing golf, I should say. And a Denver fan says, hey, Aaron, come to Denver. And he says, yeah, we'll see. This guy can't help himself. And the question I have for both of you this morning, which we'll get to after, is, how will Aaron Rodgers' time in Green Bay be remembered if he does walk at the end of the year? Or, well, it basically is the end of the year, but the point is, this offseason, they move him. What's his legacy in Green Bay? This isn't a Brett Favre move, where they had the guy, they're ready to move on. Favre looked like he was peaking. Aaron still has multiple years left.
Yeah.
We'll get to that after.
We will get to that after the break. But speaking of football, we do need to talk about the Fulling Warehouse.
Well, listen, guys, let me tell you about our friends at the Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck, home of the original football bowling pin game called Fulling. Host your corporate party, team building event, or just come in with family and friends. 2 ways to play. You have $10 unlimited open play or a private lane reservation for $120 for up to 10 people for 2 hours. We have 100 beers, our $2 mystery beer machine, and full multiple bars. You bring the food or have it delivered in. Come get your full on. Check it out at fullingwarehouse.com.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Make sure you're listening to Woodward Sports all day long. Start your morning with the Morning Woodward Show. Spend middays with Big D Energy. Watch and listen your drive home with the Bottom Line. And don't forget about Woodward Bets Daily. All live, all right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. On your face right now.
There's some BS going on TV right now.
Anyways.
God, Fish has the Olympics going on, obviously. And there's Fish. And I'm not watching, but, in the corner of my eye, it's China versus the United States.
Don't lie to me.
And men's hockey.
You're enjoying it.
And the dude that's in the... Shut the hell up. The dude that's in the penalty box is not Chinese. Look at this. He's American. Or at least he looks American or probably European. What the hell is that? He has dual citizenship? Whatever. That threw me off.
I could tell.
You're not supposed to have dual citizenship in China if you're a Chinese.
Well, he needs to be hung by the gallows. I don't know.
Boy.
Well,
Okay.
You know who doesn't have dual citizenship? It's Aaron Rodgers.
He's about to. Maybe not in the country, but state by state.
Yes, maybe.
Yeah, look, if Aaron leaves, okay, and even if he stays, I think his legacy is what it is. Outstanding regular season quarterback, first ballot Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champion, dominated the NFC North when healthy.
Wow.
And couldn't beat the 49ers in the playoffs. 0-4. I mean, that's kind of the story. It really is. He's been to, 4 or 5 title games? He's only won one of them. And yeah, from a selfish point of view, okay, as a Packers fan, I would have enjoyed the last 17 years. Believe me. I would have enjoyed it a lot. Disappointed, sure, but you would enjoy the runs. But this year, getting the 1 seed and losing to the Niners at home, not scoring a touchdown, that leaves a sour taste. Losing to Tom Brady at home when he goes on and wins the Super Bowl and beats Mahomes, you know what? As a sports fan, I could digest that. I really could. Even if it was for my team. I could swallow that painful loss, knowing, all right, you know what, lost to Tom Brady. It wasn't our year. Let's run it back. They get the 1 seed. They lose in the divisional round after having a bye week. That to me is the problem with all this. If they would have gotten to another title game and lost, well, it still sucks. But damn, it's like we keep falling short with Aaron Rodgers. And to me, that's the story. That's the legacy. You keep coming up short. The guy walked in after sitting for 4 years under Brett Favre with a really good team. And you know what he did, Jeff? They went 6-10. And then they eventually won the Super Bowl a few years later. Mm-hmm. And he hasn't done anything since. But he's gotten better and better and better. And his team over the last 2 years, I could argue, is the best roster he's had equipped to make a Super Bowl run since his Super Bowl winning team. And they haven't delivered. So should I relax, quote unquote? Should I relax this morning on Aaron Rodgers? I don't think so. And you know what? whether you think it's fair or not, Matthew Stafford wins a Super Bowl on Sunday. What's the difference between him and Aaron Rodgers? Oh, Aaron Rodgers has MVPs. Ah, that's right. That's right. Individual accolades. All right, that is a fair argument to make. I can't discount that. What is the reason that Matthew Stafford was out of the MVP conversation, Jeff, this year?
Well, he had an MVP candidate wide receiver.
Well,
and he was
I'm
throwing
saying out of
interceptions.
it. Why was he was the front runner up until what, week 9? What happened? He had a 3-week stretch of awful
multiple
games,
pick sixes. Yeah.
multiple pick sixes. The turnover rate went up. They
Yeah.
were losing games. All right, fine. Even though I thought this year the MVP, Joe Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, give or take. But hey, what's the difference between the two? One was in a great situation all his career and could only win one Super Bowl. One is 1 year removed from an awful situation for 12 years, wins the Super Bowl. Like, I think narrative does play a big part in what we do every day, not only in sports, but in life. And when I see somebody that for 17 years was one of, if not the most gifted quarterback in the NFL, MVPs, Offensive Player of the Year, Jordy Nelson, Donald Driver, Greg Jennings, Devontae Adams, now a run game over the last 2 years, Aaron Jones, now A.J. Dillon, always had a very good offensive line. Now, what are your excuses? And again, I'm not expecting Tom Brady out of Aaron Rodgers. I'm not. I think 7 Super Bowls is a ridiculous expectation. But to walk away with one tells me 2 things, okay? One, the NFL is hard. And even when you get the quarterback, there are no guarantees. And I love that about the NFL. It's why that's the best sport out there. And number 2, he failed to deliver in some of the bigger moments. And that is just a fact. That is a reality. Blowing a lead to Russell Wilson, that is an embarrassment. Putting up 3 points against the Niners, embarrassing. Frustrating. It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. So when I look back on Aaron's career, if he does leave, I think he's going to look back on Green Bay and say, I left a few there. I did. And they had a few rosters. And you can't tell me that they weren't better than any team in the NFC this year. Don't tell me the Rams were better than the Packers. They weren't. The Packers proved that in the regular season. The Packers were an outstanding football team this year. And whether you want to say they overlooked the Niners, I don't care. I just know in all the years Aaron Rodgers has played at this level, to only get to one Super Bowl, to me, is the biggest disappointment. Forget winning them. I could care less. You get there, that is a significant achievement. But geez, one Super Bowl appearance with that organization, Mike McCarthy to Matt LaFleur, really?
Yeah.
That's a disappointment for me, Jeff.
Yeah, and it is to me too. And I think Aaron Rodgers' legacy right now is what it's always been to me, and that is incredibly talented, one of, if not the most gifted quarterback to ever throw the football. But even with a change in coaching, a positive change coming from Mike McCarthy to Matt LaFleur, got better. And Adam's absolutely correct in terms of the best team he's had. Not only you've had the best coach you've had, the best team you've had, run game. You still have Devontae Adams, and everyone likes to crap on Matthew Stafford, national media-wise, for the results 12 years in Detroit. And you brought it up when Aaron Rodgers had a very different situation, and still Matthew, 1 year removed from that bad situation, has a chance. Even if he doesn't win it, he has the same amount of Super Bowl appearances as Aaron Rodgers. Like, it's inexcusable considering how talented Aaron Rodgers is at playing the quarterback position. He's had 16 straight playoff starts without starting in a Super Bowl. That's the longest streak in quarterback history, and he's 12-10 in the playoffs. I mean, everyone knows the 0-42 in his career when trailing by more than a point in the fourth quarter against a team with a running record. The stats don't point to good things for Aaron Rodgers, especially in the playoffs. And it's not always about the stats. Obviously, Aaron's great statistically in the playoffs. I think he has like 40-something touchdowns, 13 interceptions. It's never about that. It's about that it factor we always talk about, that guys like Tom Brady have, guys like Matthew are able to come through to these playoffs this year. Aaron just, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's something that a hump that he needed to get over, but something mentally, he just didn't have that it factor. And it sucks. As many NFC championship games as he played in, and not to get into another Super Bowl, at least have another appearance, it's sad considering how incredibly talented it is. I think the narrative now moves from when will Aaron Rodgers win a Super Bowl to if Aaron Rodgers. Not even if he leaves, if he goes to Denver. It's still if. Will Aaron Rodgers win a Super Bowl? Because that's the big question. It's changed dramatically considering how short he's come up the last 5 or so years, and beyond that in the playoffs. So no excuse for Aaron Rodgers, man. Is talented and one of my favorite quarterbacks just to watch. You got to have more than one Super Bowl. Like it's crazy to think about a guy that throws barely no interceptions.
You know what's
results.
odd to me, and I really want your opinion on this.
Yeah.
Okay, look, I can respect Aaron Rodgers, one of the better quarterbacks of all time. He really is. But, a few years ago, and not even less than a year ago, we had this conversation. Why sometimes guys, stats exist to really drive home a narrative that, maybe we don't believe is true, but it's there and you can't ignore it. And this is kind of one of them to me. This is one of, if not the most bizarre stat I've seen on Aaron Rodgers, and I'm going to date this back to, January of 2021. So before this past season. So don't bring up this season. I'm talking prior to this season. Aaron Rodgers is 0-42 in his career prior to this season when trailing by more than a point in the fourth quarter against a team with a winning record. And, you can debunk it. You can say what you want. They say numbers don't lie. I have a number for you that you're going to find extremely odd. Aaron Rodgers has played in 21 playoff games. Or I should say he started 21 playoff games. Jeff, do you know how many wins he has?
He's 12-10.
11. 11-10. But I think where I'm getting at with this is how many fourth quarter comebacks does he have?
0.
1. Which is basically 0.
Yeah.
1. Matthew Stafford in one playoff run has 2. And again, I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers isn't clutch. I don't even care about that narrative. What I'm trying to address to you this morning, and the picture I'm trying to paint for you, is that a guy with that talent is 11-10 in the postseason with one fourth quarter comeback. And I've been saying this for the longest time about Aaron, and I don't think you can deny it anymore. Everything around him needs to be correct, perfect, right. Whatever the word you want to use, I don't care. What I see is a quarterback that when things are going good luck beating him. But when, stuff hits the fan, things aren't working all that great, like they weren't against San Francisco, I don't know. I really don't. I don't know what to think of him anymore. Because he, I believe, has had one of the most bipolar careers I've ever seen in a player. Not even Peyton Manning dealt with this. Peyton at least got to 2 Super Bowls with Indianapolis. And then got to another 2 with Denver. When we talk about the greats, Aaron Rodgers has me scratching my head at night. And we're talking about an Aaron Rodgers who in the NFC, honestly, before Brady showed up, who was a better quarterback than him? Nobody. In the NFC, nobody was a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers. In the AFC, before Tom Brady ever left, who was a better quarterback than Tom? Nobody. You could argue Patrick Mahomes, but Tom Brady beat him. So then what? Then what? You guys tell me. Huh? You tell me. I am so curious. How do you look back at his career? If you want to use disappointment, underachieving, I don't care. That's not what I'm interested in. He's a Hall of Famer. He's an accomplished football player. But something doesn't add up with Aaron Rodgers. And whether you want to relate it to his personality, whether you want to discuss how, outspoken he is and selfish he is, that's fine. But at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers, we talk about talent all the time. Supreme talent, but does he galvanize the locker room? I'm not saying they won't play for him, but does he pull you out of the gutter? If you fell in a well, would he be able to pull you out of there? I don't think so. And not only I don't think so, it's clear over his 22 played playoff games with only one fourth quarter comeback. One fourth quarter comeback in 22 attempts. One fourth quarter comeback and 11 wins. Everything needs to be right and perfect for Aaron for him to win. Football's already hard enough. If you expect my team to go out and play perfect football, and that's the only way we can win, well, what's the difference between him and Jimmy Garoppolo? And I think we all know it's obvious, right? But that is the definition of a game manager, isn't it? When things are going right, you can win a lot of football games with this guy. When things are going wrong, you lose those games. Aaron Rodgers is not even close to a game manager, but he has the winning record of one. He has the numbers of one in the playoffs. It makes no sense to me. I've never evaluated a player in my life with the career and really the bipolar, stats, wins, etc. Everything he's accomplished. It's just, it doesn't add up to me, Jeff. It really doesn't.
No, it doesn't. And being a game manager, it's not, obviously, you could talk about different people with different things. Like being a game manager for Brady's completely different. Like the guy has that it factor. So you could trust Brady late in the game. I don't know if you could trust Aaron. You can't trust him at all. And stats will tell you that. I mean, his record in the playoffs, it's not about statistically what he does. It's not like he throws interceptions in bad parts of the games. He just doesn't bring you out of the trenches. Like that's just what Aaron is. That's the reality of it, and that's what his legacy will always be. I mean, even if he plays the last couple years until he retires, and maybe he wins one, maybe he doesn't. But at this point, I'm wondering if he'll win one, not win. So that's what I've gotten to at this point.
Look, man, 2013 or 14? I'm trying to look this up. 2014, his only fourth quarter comeback. He's been in the postseason how many times now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 playoff appearances. 12 playoff appearances, one fourth quarter comeback. And look, as a coach going into a game, of course I don't want my quarterback to have to bail me out. But come on. You see all the exits. He's only left the postseason undefeated one time, Super Bowl champion, obviously, back in the day, 2010. It's been 11 years now, going on 12. Never been to a Super Bowl since. That to me that's frustrating. That's really frustrating, especially if I'm a Packers fan. You have one of the more stable organizations, a division that was falling apart all those years. And you only got us there once. Look, sour taste, disappointment, overrated, whatever you want to say, that's fine. I don't care this morning. What I do care about is I think he's going to walk away either way. Whether he stays, leaves, doesn't matter. When he retires, you're going to look back on his career and say, man, he left a lot on the table. 0-4 against the Niners, unexplainable statistics, only one fourth quarter comeback in those 12 postseason appearances. That's the story. Maddy.
All right, guys. Well, continuing to talk about quarterbacks in the NFL, we're going to talk about the Detroit Lions trading Matthew Stafford when we come back. But first, we need to hear about the sports marketing agency.
Yes, well, let me tell you about our friends at the sports marketing agency, because SMA has been leveraging pro athletes and other notables for a decade against the issues around mental health and substance use disorder. With the help of NFL alumni Sean Jordan has been able to save lives and take a stand against these issues, and that's why I have to show you that soon, coming to Woodward Sports, the sports marketing agency podcast named This is the F Word series on fentanyl. If you are struggling with substance abuse or mental health, they're here to help. Go to thesportsma.com and remember, tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Comerica Park, sunshine, the crack of the bat. More sunshine, warmth. We're almost there, Detroit. Summer 2022 will be the summer of Woodward Sports. We just gotta make it through this damn cold first.
All right, guys, a new sponsor and a great friend of the Woodward Sports Network, Chili Peppers Tanning Salon. Now, let me tell you, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest, most spotless, sanitized rooms and trade-certified professionals in the D. Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals. They're always giving coupons, discounts, etc. And don't forget to pick up Australian Gold, Designer Skin, California Tan, and Swedish Beauty lotions. Now, as somebody that clearly needs a tan, I can't recommend this enough.
You know,
Because
you want
when
that
you're
Australian
when
gold.
you're as pale as me, people mistaken you for a ghost. And people are scared of ghosts. And I don't want people to be scared of me. So people, ladies and gentlemen, check them out. They have 26 locations around Metro Detroit and more coming. Check them out again. And don't forget, Big D Energy will be live from their Berkeley grand opening, February 21st. It's on a Monday, 11 to 1. You guys know the time. Big D Energy going to be out there in Berkeley for the Chili Peppers grand opening. I'm excited for it. I really am. I'm white. I really look at me. Look at this.
You should get a spray
Look,
tan,
look,
actually.
I really do need
You should
to
get a
tan.
spray tan. You don't have enough time to, like, go
I
lay
really
in
do.
bed.
This is like I probably scare people looking this white. Seriously. All right. Let's talk about sports.
Anyways.
Did the Detroit Lions make the right move for Matthew Stafford? And I love the next 15 minutes we have, because not only are we talking about the Stafford trade, we're going to get into Michigan's new offensive and defensive coordinator hires. But we'll start with the Stafford trade. Jeff, I want you to start this off. Did they make the right trade? And I've heard all the speculation, the Denver trade, the Carolina trade. Everything was on the table last year, but they stuck with their guns, and they did optically maybe the right human move. They traded him to LA.
Yeah.
Do you have a problem with the trade they made, and was it the right trade?
Yeah, for both sides, the human aspect of it and just assets. We got the most assets, and Matthew was happy, got to go where he wanted to go, and it worked out from both sides. I mean, we brought in Brad Holmes, that was formerly a part of the Los Angeles Rams organization. We brought over Aubrey Pleasant. Might as well trade him there as well. You got the 2 first-round picks and a third-round pick, including a quarterback. Say what you want about Jared Goff, but the trade ended up working out. So I have no problem with the issue with the trade, despite if he wins or not. That's not the case. If he wins the Super Bowl, I'm still good with the trade. It has absolutely zero effect on how I feel. The main part now, would you have liked a higher pick to maybe a worse team? Of course, but you still have 2 first-rounders. I mean, teams are going to be inquiring about that second first-rounder. Those are trade assets you can use, Brad Holmes can use. So in terms of both sides, for what was good for Matthew, where he wanted to go, the organization he wanted to go to, perfect fit. What we were getting back, perfect fit. So I don't want to hear the people that talk about, you should have took the Carolina trade. We could have had Penei Sewell and Micah Parsons. Okay, but that's it. That's it. Those are your 2 players. You have no more assets after that. I will take 2 first-round picks. I don't know what they're going to become, and I think that's why people are so enamored about that pick and the Carolina pick, because you would have had Micah Parsons. Now you have 2 first-round picks. I'm waiting till what we can get out of them. You don't know. Next year, they could use them to trade up for a quarterback. They have a first-round pick this year, probably going to be 32. I have the Rams winning. Sorry about that. They're going to go, and they're going to get 32. Teams are going to be inquiring about it. I have no issue with it. And you got Jared Goff, a guy who, if you didn't, you would have had Tim Boyle all year, and it would have been a you-know-what show. So I'll take it. I'm good with Jared Goff. I got no issue with it, and I love the deal they got. I don't think they could have got a better deal anywhere else, because if you're getting Carolina's deal, okay. I don't think it's as good.
Sometimes we make decisions in life, and of course, hindsight 2020, everything works out. But we talked about this a lot yesterday, especially when Ben Johnson was announced as the offensive coordinator. Doing the right thing is always the right thing, correct? And when you do right by your players, it sets an example. It sets the tone moving forward. Okay? And yeah, you can be the hindsight guy. You could have had Parsons and Sewell. The Lions were going to draft Micah Parsons at 7 if Penei Sewell was taken.
Yeah.
That is a fact. So I don't even care at this point, because the draft is over and done with. But I'm sorry. I think there was nothing better that could happen to this city, especially this football franchise, than for them to trade away a quarterback they needed to trade away because they weren't going to win with him. It was proven obvious, done with. Trade him to an actual football organization with an actual team and an actual coach and an actual GM. And in one season, he's delivered what you've been inspiring to do really since '91.
Yeah.
And some. And really over the last 58 years. And that to me is the best part of all this, is that they made the right human trade. They set him where he wanted to be.
Yeah.
All right? They set him up for success. They got themselves 2 first-round picks and a third-round pick. I have no problem with that. And may I remind all of you, when the trade did happen, you were very vocal about telling me they were going to win 6, 7, 8 games with Matthew Stafford. He wasn't going to take them over the hump. But it's okay. I'll forget about it. And I think Detroit watching Stafford go somewhere else and deliver 1 year in is probably the wake-up call that organization needed. And I hope it is. Because believe me, nobody likes talking about a losing franchise. It's not fun. You may think I have fun doing it. It's not. Nobody likes it. Believe me, I prefer the Lions to be winning than losing. So much better. Anyways, I think they made the right deal. And I think both teams won from that trade. Had he gone to Carolina, okay, what? Then what? Then what? I have to play this whole, like, alternate universe game.
Yeah.
I don't. He was traded to the Rams.
Yeah.
He has a great head coach, a great GM, a very good roster. And by the way, can I defend the Rams this morning? Is that too much? Can I? Do you mind?
I mean, you're not a Lions
We
fan,
talk
but
so much about Odell Beckham and Von Miller
Yeah.
and Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. They haven't had a first-round pick in 7 years. They find Cam Akers, Van Jefferson, Gaines,
Yeah.
Blanton, their linemen. They find them in the second, third, fourth rounds. They built that roster through the draft, not through free agency and trades. Stop. Are they all in? Absolutely they are. But don't sit there and tell me that all they did was get an all-star team together and it's working out. That is not true. And one more aspect for the Detroit Lions that I actually think is a good thing is they have Jared Goff, whether you like him or not. And obviously I don't like him, at least on the field. But the point is, you got a quarterback that can kind of right the ship, and you can build a really talented roster. And Jeff, do I have to remind you? There's some little guy out in Arizona asking for $50 to $55 million
Oh, yeah.
a year. Yeah, I'll take the rookie contract and I'll build a supreme roster. I'll wait on my guy. I'll build an exceptional roster and I'll get the rookie quarterback in. And hopefully he's like a Mahomes and Allen, etc. I mean, wishful thinking here, but the point is 50 to 55 million a year for a quarterback. That's what you're going to have to pay now moving forward. Apparently, that's the market. You know what I say to the market? I'd rather be picking number 1 overall than having Kyler Murray. I'll pass. Let's move on. Michigan, Jeff, they announced their new, their new offensive and defensive coordinators.
Yep.
Okay, one, now that the drama's over, positions are filled.
Yep.
What's next for Michigan? But two, now that the announcements have been hired for the coaching staff, what do you make of the decisions and who they got?
I like it. I mean, they're keeping the familiarity with hiring the Vanderbilt defensive coordinator, Clark, and bringing him in. Similar scheme, obviously, to Mac McDonald, considering they were both a part of the Ravens organization originally. There's some familiarity there. So I like it. He worked with John previously. So, Jim, I like the hire. And in terms of the offensive coordinator, you're having dual offensive coordinators. You got Sharon Moore, the O-line coach, and Matt Weiss, who's the quarterback coach, both sharing play calling duties. I don't think really anything's going to change. I mean, yeah, you got titles now. Now you have guys filling the titles, but the offense, I think, is still going to be the same. I mean, different now, hopefully, with J.J. McCarthy. But, I mean, listen, Michigan's always going to be talented. They're always going to run the ball. They have Blake Corum, Donovan Edwards. And defensively, they lost a lot of pieces. But schematically, I don't see anything changing really with this Michigan team. It just depends how do they bounce back from losing so many players. I mean, Ross, Aiden Hutchinson, David Ajabo, and now on the offensive side of the ball, you're losing guys. Hassan Haskins, a couple of the O-linemen. So they got to figure that out. It's a personnel issue, not a schematic issue. They honestly... They're probably going to stay very similar than they were last year. Maybe they won't be able to run the ball as much, considering some of the offensive linemen are going into the NFL draft. But anything schematically, Adam, it's all going to be the same. I like the hires, honestly. I think Clark Lee at Vanderbilt did a great job. I think this is his first time as a DC, so he's got his feet wet. Now he's coming over to Michigan. And you know what? I like it. And Jim obviously got his crap together pretty quickly, found a staff, and now it's about getting recruits ready. So I got no problem with it. Schematically, I don't think we'll see much of a difference, and besides the quarterback.
Yeah, I'm curious what the offense looks like. And I've been saying it since really the Georgia game. Great run, Michigan. Congratulations, finally winning a Big Ten title. That's huge. I'm so happy for you and Harbaugh. Great. So happy. That way of football, and whether you like it or not, beats Ohio State and wins a Big Ten every 6, 7, 8 years.
Yeah.
You want to win consistently, you need an X-factor quarterback, you need a dynamic offense, and you need a defense that can make opportunistic plays.
Yeah.
That's it.
They need some playmakers.
And every team can say they need it, but the point I'm trying to make this morning for you is as simple as this. J.J. McCarthy should be your starting quarterback. And I'm going to keep lobbying it up until spring ball, up until fall of next year. I'm going to keep talking about it because I think Cade McNamara gets you here, especially next year. If you're expecting 12 wins again next year, Big Ten title, 11-1, beating Iowa, then losing to Georgia, you expect that again next year? Sorry, not going to happen with Cade McNamara. What's he going to do? What plays is he going to make? Did you not watch the Georgia game? And again, he was a great game manager last year. He wasn't asked to do much. You beat Penn State because two corners ran into each other. I'm not taking it away from you. I'm telling you exactly what happened. If you think all of that is going to line up again next year, you'll lose in the big house against Michigan State. You'll lose to Penn State. And you'll likely lose in Columbus. You're winning 8-9 games next year with Cade McNamara. You want to win 10 or maybe 11 games, you start J.J. McCarthy. It's that simple. I don't care how experienced McNamara is. You saw it against Georgia. He has limitations.
Yep.
And on the day that they played Ohio State, I was there. I was at the game. They had no business winning that game. You know why they did? Because Aiden Hutchinson got to C.J. Stroud 15 times.
Yeah.
You know why they won that game? Ohio State couldn't stop the run. Michigan controlled the line of scrimmage. Great. You did that. It's amazing. You finally beat them. That way of winning or that way of playing the game only gets you so far. Didn't work against Georgia, did it? You couldn't run the ball. You couldn't throw the ball. Took up until J.J. McCarthy came in where you actually moved the ball as an offense. Mm-hmm. And Cade looked beyond pathetic in that game. And he did nothing special against Iowa. I want to see JJ next year, and I'm going to keep singing for it. I'm going to keep calling for it. You can hate me all you want. JJ McCarthy is your solution if you want to take everything you accomplish next year and ride it and grow from it and try to win another Big Ten title. Try to get back to the college football playoff. You think you're going to do that with Cade McNamara, you're smoking something. I'm not, clearly. So we got to go to break. When we get back, we got to talk about the Super Bowl. I think there's a matchup that everybody's interested in, but they're not sure how it plays out. And the question I'll have for all of you will be, will the Rams defense be able to shut down Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals? We'll see.
We'll talk about that when we come back. But first, we need to hear about our friends at Lady Jane's.
Yes, well, guys, Lady Jane's, very clutch. I got my hair cut, and Lady Jane's can help you out. Guys, let's be honest, we like simple stuff. And like Lady Jane's haircuts for men, and like also football 5 days a week preferably, we like things uncomplicated. Walk in, sign in, sit down, and before you know it, you are handsome and clean. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. You walk in anytime because it is wicked awesome.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
An event 10 years in the making. Sunday, February 13th, Woodward Sports, Gypsy Vodka, and Syntron present the Stafford Bowl.
Hurry up!
Live broadcast at the Brass Rail in Detroit.
Hey, keep stacking these drives now. Keep stacking these drives. Gotta have good ones every time we touch the ball.
Come out with all of your friends for our pregame and stay for the watch party.
Big drive right here, all right? We gotta keep pouring it on. Good fundamentals. Let's punch another one in, all right? Big drive. Let's go.
The entire Woodward staff will be at the Brass Rail as Matthew Stafford and the Rams take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Come experience the Stafford Bowl on massive big screens, drinks, pizza, and DJs. One day, the Lions will make it there. Until then, we have Matthew Stafford and the Stafford Bowl.
Let's go! That's unbelievable! That's unbelievable, and you know it. You know it is, though.
See you Sunday at the Brass Rail with Woodward Sports.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us here on the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network. Speaking of the Super Bowl, do not forget we have the Stafford Bowl party this Sunday at Brass Rail in Detroit. We're going to be there with our friends from Woodward Sports, Cintron, Gypsy Vodka, as well as Planet Fitness. It's from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. And then we have the watch party afterwards. So make sure you're there. We're all going to be there. It's going to be a great time. Again, that's at Brass Rail on Sunday starting at 4:30 p.m. Guys, we want to talk about this defense is what we want to talk about, the Rams defense. Are we going to be able to stop Joe Burrow?
Well, listen, I think if anything, the best matchup in terms of Joe Burrow and what he's going to have to deal with is that pass rush. I mean, everyone knows that. Joe and Matt are both one of the best, if not the two best, against the blitz in the NFL. So the question is, they're both going to, I think, play well. It's a matter of, can you sack Joe Burrow 9 times like the Titans did and still find a way to win? I think, obviously, offensively, they can do that. Tannehill, there's no Tannehill. I don't think Matthew's going to throw 4 interceptions. And I think they have a legitimate defensive line that can disrupt Joe Burrow and possibly aim towards those double-digit sacks. I honestly believe so. And with Aaron Donald, he's so motivated. And Von Miller, so motivated. They have Leonard Floyd. They still have Jalen Ramsey. He's probably going to be matched up with Jamar Chase. I have no doubt. We talked about this the other day, actually. The only team in the NFL in the playoffs that matched up, the worst matchup for the Bengals is the Rams in the NFC because of what they are on both sides of the ball. Defensively, they can get after you. Now, they struggle stopping the run, but in the playoffs, they fixed that. They've gotten better against the run. They can rush the passer, and it just depends if Joe Burrow can get the ball out quick enough, and that's on both sides. I mean, Matthew's going to have Trey Hendrickson running at him, Wilson running at him. He's going to have another good D-line. But we're talking about the Rams defense, man. I think Joe Burrow is going to have his hands full. Now, can he handle it? I would think so, because Joe Burrow showed me that he can, his maturity and his experience in terms of playing in big games. He hasn't played in a Super Bowl yet, but he's shown composure. And I believe Joe will be just fine. Now, I think the amount of times Aaron Donald and Von Miller, those guys, get after Joe, I think it's going to end up maybe something's going to happen, man. Something's going to happen where maybe Aaron Donald, Von Miller, they force a fumble, they sack Joe late in the game. I think it's going to end up costing them a lot because you only can disguise your offensive line for so long. The best thing to do is to run the ball, establish play action. I don't know if the Rams stop the run, they're going to be tight, man. They're going to be in a lot of passing sets, and Aaron Donald, Von Miller, they're going to feast on like Thanksgiving. So, honestly, I'm a little worried. That's why I'm kind of leaning towards the Rams is because of what they are on both sides of the ball, including what they are in the secondary. But, yeah, no doubt. If we're talking strictly pass rush, they're going to get in Joe Burrow's ass. Like, that's a matter of fact. It just depends on what Joe Burrow looks like against the blitz, which he's shown us he's very good.
How much of the Harambe motivation do you think is going to play a factor?
After Trey Hendrickson said that, I think the over-under went from like 1 sack to like 5. I think this man can get 4 to 5 sacks just for Harambe. He's not.
I love that.
He's
story.
not effing around.
Harambe, by the way, just so I'm up to speed on things. Yeah. That is the gorilla in the zoo that a baby was dropped in on accident, or it was
You know what?
It got into the cage on accident, and it was too risky for them to go in, so they just shot the.
Yeah, the kid was getting dragged by the gorilla, and it was in the Cincinnati Zoo, so that's why.
Ah.
Yeah.
So a Cincinnati Zoo.
Did they ever do anything about those parents?
I don't know. I will find out. I'm assuming
they should have just shot the parents instead of the gorilla.
Oh my God. That's what I don't. But here's the problem. That wouldn't have helped the kid. You shoot the parents. What the hell happened to the kid?
It would have prevented the kid from ever being in that situation again.
No, but the kid was in the situation, so you shoot
because
the parents.
Of the parents.
Oh, the kid is
because of the parents.
I get
Eliminate
that.
the parents. No problem.
Yeah, but you got to save.
Harambe's still alive.
I get that, but
Cincinnati wins the Super Bowl.
Well, you got to save the kid first. Someone's dying in that situation, basically.
Fish,
is what I'm saying.
I'd rather it be the parents.
Why don't you put the parent in there against Harambe and just be like, all right,
why don't you send the parents in there to get the kid?
Yeah, you deal with them.
Let the dad take care of the gorilla. He'll be killed, and then the mom walks away with the kid. There we go.
That would have been a solution that they didn't think of that though.
Max said the gorilla was throwing the kid around. Was he actually?
He wasn't throwing him around. He was dragging him. I mean, it wasn't that.
Yeah, dragging him, throwing him.
It wasn't that aggressive. Let's be.
It was pretty aggressive.
It was pretty aggressive.
I was like, look at that little gorilla.
By the way, the gorilla weighed 440 pounds. So 440 pounds dragging what? 30 pounds?
I don't know. I think the gorilla would have done a better job raising that kid than the parents. I wonder where that kid is now. We should do like an ESPN 30 for 30 on him.
I will look that up as well. I'll be back on updates shortly.
I'm just saying.
If you were the kid.
I don't know. Like, Harambe needed to die to save a human life. I don't know. Some human lives, are they worth it? You know?
Especially like a gorilla
Some
like
lives.
Harambe.
Seriously. Some people that live on this earth, remember, guys, there's almost like 8 billion people now. There's got to be a handful of people that just like aren't worth the oxygen. Okay?
But who makes that judgment call? That's the problem.
Hey, look, you guys need somebody to make the call. I'll make it. I'm just saying, some people don't, deserve to have oxygen. What's up, Fish?
Well, I was just going to say that Harambe was 17 years old.
See, a life
17.
cut short
So,
because of 2 ignorant parents.
How the hell does that work? How long do gorillas live?
What is that in gorilla years? Yeah, Fish. Great question, Jeff. Great
No, I'm
question.
just I'm actually curious generally. Like,
what is the
lifespan of a gorilla?
average lifespan that a gorilla lives? Fish, I need the information, buddy. I know you're typing.
Oh, it says
away
35
right
to 40 years. So
Yeah.
he had another
half
life.
of his life was taken away because you're ignorant. You know what? And look, those parents, given how old was the baby? 1 or 2?
I don't know.
So they
than
were in
that.
their 30s. So
Older
they
than that.
still had like half of a lifespan.
I just watched the video.
It was a bad.
I forgot about the fact that it's in water and
Yeah.
he's dragging this kid
yes,
through the water.
yes.
Adam's
So they
like,
have like a
"Hold
little
on!"
trench.
I don't mean to laugh, but
They have like a little trench in the cage,
Yeah.
and he
It's
just
like,
dragged him.
this kid is
I don't
gorilla
know. I
doesn't
would
care.
still shoot the parents.
What if it was your kid? Would you be like, hold on, just remain calm?
Are we
Nobody-
allowed to play back that? Alex, could you find that video, please? People need to see
So
it.
the gorilla doesn't obviously understand. I mean, I'm sure
Well,
he
look,
knows
I'm
it's
just
a
saying,
different
like,
person.
you can throw a few bananas in there.
Shot down in his prime.
You can send, like, an edible arrangements.
Alex is dying. In
You
there.
can send an edible arrangements to the gorilla. Maybe, like, he'll chill out.
Arrangements. Love that
You can
commercial.
send something.
That's a commercial.
You didn't have to kill the gorilla.
Yeah, you've never seen that commercial, Edible Arrangements? What do you guys, have you seen Edible Arrangements commercial?
I have.
Thank you. Adam?
I've never seen an edible arrangements
What is,
commercial ever.
okay.
It was,
I
it was
will,
a 3-year-old.
It was a 3-year-old.
Okay. 3-year-old.
All right, so we're talking the parents who are between 26 and 30 years old. So they had another, half of their life, just like the gorilla did. Why is their life more important than the gorilla's? Why? Somebody explain to me. Give me one good reason. They waste oxygen. They don't recycle. Then what? Huh?
Yeah.
I just created 2 new jobs on the earth. Instead, we killed a gorilla.
okay, so they ended up not charging the parents, which
Wow.
I figured that was a thing.
Okay. Well.
When
Do
was
you
that?
want
I
their
want to see the
names?
video, Alex.
Do you want their
This-
names?
I want to see how
2016.
aggressive
It was
this gorilla was.
2016.
Because I really don't
May
remember
28th.
like the gorilla with the kid.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm a bit too much right now. I'm sure it comes off that way, but I'm really curious. I'm sorry.
So the kid's what? 9 now?
How long ago did this happen?
2016.
2016.
So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
the kid's about
So
8,
the
9
kid
years
is
old.
8, 9.
We should invite him on the show.
Well,
Him or her. I don't
I'm
know.
trying to
Robert
find the
kid.
kid.
What's his name?
I'm looking it up right now.
Come on, Fish. Damn it, what's taking so long? I just want to see
None
the
of these
video.
articles are even like recent. So I gotta go
Everything-
back to
Everything
find the
recent
kid.
right now is about the Bengals.
Well, look, I'm just saying, if you take your kid to the zoo, and a 3-year-old, mind you,
Yeah.
and how are they out of your sight at a zoo? How does that make any sense?
You want to hear some
And
more
the kid
sad news?
fell in.
Fell in, yeah.
Yeah.
Adam,
And I
you
have
want-
3 legs.
You want to get even more riled up?
I mean-
Harambe had a child.
You know.
Jeff, whoa.
Stop it.
Whoa, too much information, Jeff.
All right.
What
move
were you
on,
saying,
move on.
Fish?
Harambe had a child in 2015.
So Harambe had a child?
Yep.
Is that child
Harambe
alive
Jr.?
today? I hope that child escapes the zoo and goes to that parent's house and takes care of business. Avenge your fallen parent. Somebody's got to do. All right, let's see this.
Oh boy.
All right, he's being nice, nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. They're playing in the water.
They're playing in the water.
They're playing in the water, nothing
Grown-ass
crazy.
gorilla.
He's not aggressive. He's a big ass gorilla.
Well, it's 440
Nothing
pounds.
aggressive here. Nothing over the top where I have to kill this gorilla. All right, he grabs
He's
it,
basically
grabs
like
the
2 wide
child.
receivers.
All right, he grabs it by the
giving a
butt.
wedgie.
What's the problem here? Are you sure that he's giving him a wedgie? He pushes. What? Oh, come on! It's not even that bad. That's not even that bad.
The kid literally just disappeared.
Come on, grow up a little bit.
Well, they're just in the tree.
Is he?
I want to see. Is there more?
There was
Oh, he's over there. He's holding the kid in like.
That's fine. He's not drowning him. He's playing with the kid. What's the problem?
Okay, but no one knows what the gorilla's gonna
What's
do.
the problem? Look how gentle he is. We killed a gorilla over what?
But the gorilla zookeepers don't know what the gorilla is gonna do. The gorilla doesn't know that.
Oh, come on! Look how nice he grabs him. He's like, "Hey, buddy, come on. Let's go to the other side. Come on. I'm getting tired here.
Run away with me.
Hey, fix your underwear. I don't want people seeing your ass.
Over here.
I just put you down. Like, come here. What's the problem with that? That's enough to kill somebody.
Here's another video.
That's the second part.
No, that was the first part.
Yeah, that's a different angle.
Right. But let's be honest. He's not drowning.
No,
You don't know
He's
that.
not drowning.
No one said he was drowning, but he was being waterlogged.
He's protecting the kid.
Adam, this isn't King Kong, all right? This isn't King Kong with the girl and he's on the
protecting
skyscraper
the
holding the girl.
goddamn
He might rip that kid's head off. Like, I don't even know what's. Look at I can't even laugh. Like, that's messed up.
The worst part is there was no burial.
No burial?
No burial.
Oh, ouch.
You said Harambe had a kid, right?
Yes.
I'm going to adopt this gorilla, and I'm going to drop him off at that parent's house, and I'm going to let him do work. Somebody's got to avenge Harambe.
I'm going to figure
It's
out
not
where
going to be
this
the
kid
Cincinnati
is.
Bengals, I'll tell you that.
Oh, my God.
Man,
It
dude.
wasn't even that bad. Come on.
How did the kid get in? That's like a 15-foot drop into the
That's
pin.
what I'm
Like,
saying.
did they
Like,
lower
where's
him
the
down?
video of, like,
No, I mean,
I bet you any money. When nobody was looking, they fed him down there with a rope.
so if
He's like going down.
if you go to any zoo, most cages, I'm not gonna lie, are pretty like easy to get in. Like if you really wanted to get in, not all of them, some of them are like 3 poles and like dividers, probably like this big.
There are people that understand in this chat. Jester, Adam, if a kid hopped over your fence, would you drag them around? You're damn right I would. I wouldn't kill him, but I would drag him around.
Yep.
Would you kill me? No, you wouldn't. Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
They just didn't know how the gorilla was gonna react to a human being being thrown in there.
How about everybody around the gorilla screaming and freaking out, probably scaring him, instead of just, all right, remaining calm, maybe he wouldn't have dragged your kid.
Okay.
It wasn't even that.
Adam,
Look, if he would
can I-
have smacked the kid, if he would have smacked the kid, you had every right to put him down.
Adam,
all he did was take him for a little swim.
One smack, that kid is just obliterated.
Okay, then you have just cause to shoot him. Whatever happened to just cause for killing somebody? Huh?
Adam,
You're
Adam,
right.
You have a kid, you're at the zoo having a great time, on a weekend I assume. Your kid somehow falls in the enclosure. Are you remaining calm when your kid is 15 feet down and there's no way to help him other than go in?
If my kid is down there, all right, I'll be honest. If my kid is down there,
you're an anomaly,
and
right
it's
now.
my fault, I'll jump in there and handle business.
Okay.
Scrap the
all
gorilla.
right, and I'll die doing it. It's fine. It's my fault the kid's in there. And if my wife goes to the zoo and I gotta drive there because she dropped the kid in there,
oh boy.
Well, then I'm not gonna have a wife anymore. I'm throwing her ass in there.
He crawled under some barrier.
Oh, whatever. We gotta go to break.
Listen.
It's 9 o'clock. I'm done with Harambe for today. I'm so disappointed in all of you. He should not have been killed.
The Bengals are playing for him, so
I hope
watch
they
out.
win now. I hope they win now just for him. I really do.
So you change your narrative
Adam is now betting on the Bengals.
I'm betting on the Bengals because a gorilla was
Them playing
unlawfully
for
killed.
Harambe. Anyways, we gotta go to break. When we come back, we're talking about the Detroit Lions maintaining their coaching staff next year. But first, we need to talk about Cintron.
Yes, well, Cintron is one of my favorite beverages here at the network, and you need to get yourself one because it is delicious. Cintron World is an aspirational lifestyle beverage brand with a line of sparkling flavored energy beverages, premium bottled water, and revitalizer shots. Cintron is the official energy drink of the Red Wings, proud partners with the Detroit Pistons, and exclusively served at Little Caesars Arena. If you're looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and great taste, Cintron is your top choice. Buy online at CintronWorld.com. Use the promo code RedWings10 and save 10% with shipping included. Remember, drink it, live it with Cintron.
Everything that we've hoped for, finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Here at Woodward Sports, we're always up for a good cause and a good time. This year, we present the 2022 Cubazani Run. Yeah, you heard right. Time to get in our underwear and run the streets of Detroit. For the last 12 years, we've stripped down, ran in the cold, and partied to raise money to help fund research to end NF. February 12th, join the staff from Woodward Sports and hundreds of other beautiful people downtown at the Tin Roof. You can register as an individual or your team today at woodwardsports.com. So start doing those squats, sit-ups, or just some 12-ounce curls. And get ready for Cupid's Undie Run 2022. Sponsored by the awesome people at Gypsy Vodka, Cintron, and Planet Fitness. We'll see you February 12th at the Tin Roof. In our underwear. Thank you to Chili Peppers Tanning.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network, also featured on the Roar on 99.1, 93.5, and 94.7 HD2. Welcome back to whatever this is right now, but we're going to move on to the Detroit Lions. We are retaining our coaching staff from 2021. What do you guys think?
Happy. I think you were nervous for a good 4, 5, 6 week stretch. Aubrey Pleasant, Aaron Glenn.
I'm still nervous for Aubrey. He's interviewing with the Saints. Defensive coordinator.
Oh, as the defensive coordinator? I mean,
anything, man. I'm just.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not too worried. I think they're going to retain them all.
I hope.
And from a different point of view, okay? Forget what happened this year. Although you want to take it into consideration, yes. I think the staff will be better next year. Is that fair to say? I think the roster will be better next year.
Yep.
And that means I expect a better win total. And not only a better win total, significantly better given how easy the schedule looks on paper going into next year. You had the fourth hardest schedule based on win totals from the prior year, this past season. 3 games seemed like a lot. And you won. Oh, good. 3 games. Not bad. That's what your record was probably always going to be. And going into next year with one of, if not the easiest schedule in the NFL, you got to feel good about it. And I'm feeling really good about the staff. I think Ben Johnson really is probably the highlight of this entire staff right now. Promoted to OC. We talked about it now. Not only the right human move for your culture, your building, but it was the right move.
Yeah.
You saw the difference down the stretch. Win, loss, doesn't matter. The defense was atrocious last year, even though it carried you kind of the first 8-9 games of the year. But the point is, you saw a difference in the offense. You saw Amon-Ra St. Brown become an X-factor player. You saw the run game really start to find its groove. The offensive line, one of the better parts of your team last year. I'm excited for this coaching staff. I really am. And excited not in terms of just production, how they develop. Aubrey Pleasant, Aaron Glenn year 2, Ben Johnson year 1 as a coordinator. Dan Campbell year 2 as a head coach. How aggressive is he next year?
Yeah.
What has he learned? I think there's a lot to look forward to. Just from their ability to walk into next year, everybody's familiar with who's around themselves. And again, we talked about it with Anthony Lynn. What was the point of going out and hiring another offensive coordinator? That seemed counterproductive to what Dan Campbell had been preaching really since the decision had been made. I know what I want for this football team. I know what's best. Okay, so you either call the plays or you promote somebody, a Deuce Staley or Ben Johnson. We wanted Ben, and it happened that way. Great. Jeff, I see nothing but positive signs moving forward with the coaching staff.
Yeah, me too. And it makes me even more excited for next year considering who was out this year. And you're going to have a lot of those guys back. It's a good year to evaluate Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson as OC, even Aubrey Pleasant in that secondary, the DB's coach. I'm excited to see what Jeff Okudah looks like. And now you got Amani Oruwariye coming off a career year. What does he look like following that up? What they did last year, not only with undrafted free agents, but just free agents in general. Like guys that came in for depth and performed well. You had Ragnow out. You had Romeo Okoro out. I'm excited for this year and to see the development. And the difference between this year and last year is there wasn't many expectations last year. And you came out, Aaron Glenn overperformed. We praised Aaron Glenn. He got head coaching interviews. Aubrey Pleasant did a hell of a job with the secondary. And then you give credit to Ben Johnson, considering how Jared Goff looked, Amon-Ra, T.J. Hockenson, the injury kind of, set things back for him. This year, though, there's more expectations. Now we're looking at, can you get 7 wins? That's probably a good expectation, 6-7 wins. And with those expectations, I'm excited to see what the coaching staff can do now. Because now it matters. Something matters. You have to go out. You have an easier schedule. You're going against the NFC East, so you should win a couple of the games there, considering who's in the NFC East. And with the coaching staff, I'm excited to see how they develop, and like you said, how Aaron Glenn gets better. What does Ben Johnson look like with Jared Goff? That's what I'm looking at, because we saw what Jared Goff was down the stretch last year when Ben Johnson started being the passing game coordinator. I love it, and with Ben Johnson, I think Jared Goff is a real chance to not have a great year, but a good year. I mean, no doubt he can't reach over 20 touchdowns and keep his interceptions, respectably low. You're going to have T.J. Hockenson back, Amon-Ra in his second year, Quintez, hopefully he'll be back in 100%. Then you're going to probably draft a wide receiver. So weapons will be there. They'll be young, but I think Jared will have an improved year, man. I'm excited for Ben Johnson, and I'm excited. Second thing is it's Jared Goff and Ben Johnson. That's what I'm looking for. Second thing is Jeff Okudah with Aaron Glenn and Aubrey Pleasant.
Speaking of Ben Johnson, Zach Taylor.
Oof.
They indeed.
Talk
about praising somebody. And, all the people out on social media, they could have hired him back in 2017, 2018, whatever the rumor was. It doesn't matter. The point is, when you get a compliment, not only from any coach, but a Super Bowl appearing coach right now, who's in the Super Bowl, saying this is one of the smarter guys around the league.
Yep.
Man, I guess the best way I can put it, Jeff, after reading Zach Taylor's comments is, we thought it was the right move a long time ago. They made it. We felt it was the right move. Happy about it. And then you see people doubling down on it, and it's like, oh, okay. Like, I'm getting positive reinforcement here. Why am I so confident in Miami right now, even though I hate their ownership and GM? Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, Matt LaFleur, Gary Kubiak. A plethora of coaches have already come out and said Mike McDaniels is one of the greatest communicators they've been a part of, and a guy that knows the game of football so well. And the fact that Ben Johnson is getting a similar amount of, I would say, attention, Jeff, it makes me so happy.
It does. And we talked about Ben Johnson. We were high on him for a while, and Zach coming out and saying it not only confirms it, but we knew. I mean, we didn't know his background with Zach Taylor. Obviously, they grew up together, and he always said he was the smartest guy in terms of mathematics. This is why Ben Johnson's analytic background is so important. He's very smart. He's outside thinker. And if you look all around the league, the Mike Shanahan tree, those guys are all getting head coaching jobs. This is our opportunity to develop Dan Campbell's tree of his own. And I think Ben Johnson, in my opinion, he will be a head coach one day. He's too bright. He's too eager to learn. He's 35 years old, and he's only getting more smarter. Like Zach Taylor said, every year, and the more and more he deals with these types of situations in terms of being an offensive coordinator, dealing with different problems, learning how to adjust to those problems, give him a couple years, man. I think Ben Johnson has a real chance to start getting interviews because he's young, he's innovative, he's creative, he's a player's coach. Players like him. Players want to play for him. And not only that, knows what he's talking about. Very intelligent, and just Dan loves him. We know that. They have a history together, and I'm so happy. Dan, you say what you want about him as a coach. The guy can get assistants. He can build a tree, and he's been able to do so far, and I have no problem with it, man. I love Ben Johnson at OC, and the fact that Zach Taylor put his name out there and said, listen, Ben Johnson, one of the smartest, bright minds in football, I'm sold on it. Because Zach Taylor's respected. And the fact that he went out and said that, he gave like a paragraph statement on Ben Johnson. He talked about him for a while and been saying, I've been trying to hire him, and the Lions keep blocking me from doing so. And I'm so glad they have, because Ben Johnson, hopefully one day, and if my expectations are correct, considering how he's looked as the passing game coordinator and how I think he'll look as the OC, that man will be a head coach in the next couple of years. I will not, especially how the league's moving forward. He's too good not to at least get an interview. So, Zach Taylor, I'm on with you. I agree with you.
Yeah, I'm all in. We got to go to break. When we get back, Barry Sanders. A lot of people talking about Barry Sanders and a Kyle Shanahan offense and a 17-game schedule. Would he be able to run for 3,000 yards, 2,500 yards? Who knows the number? We'll get to that after the break. But before we do, Maddy.
We need to hear about Guardian Alarm.
Yes, well, we talk about this defense this year and how I'm excited to see it. I got a defense for you that's exciting, Guardian Alarm. And Guardian Alarm, good defense on and off the field, helps you feel secure. And Guardian Alarm also has state-of-the-art technology that helps you feel safe, all with 24/7 local monitoring. Guardian Alarm also has convenient features that let you check in on your home, control lights and temperatures, or even detect smoke and carbon monoxide. It will let you lock and unlock your own doors. Call this number 800-STAY-OUT today.
Stay the hell out.
That is 800-STAY-OUT.
Stay out, Chinese hockey team.
Guardian Alarm has been trusted for over 90 years at keeping families safe.
What's the over-under? Should I tease? Who is the lock of the night? Make sure you're watching Woodward Bets to get the latest in sports betting and more. Woodward Bets daily on Woodward Sports.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhawfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Guys, Barry Sanders said that he could have rushed 3,000 yards
God.
under a certain head coach. What do you think?
I mean, you know what's funny? The conversation back in the 90s was, imagine Barry Sanders with the Cowboys offensive line. Because Emmitt Smith finished his career, obviously, with more rushing yards, but everybody knew Barry was better, and it's not even a question. Me, personally, I think Barry's the greatest running back of all time.
I agree with you.
Maybe I'm biased there, but it doesn't matter. I think the point is, imagine you gave him an actual offensive line and a run scheme, maybe a Kyle Shanahan run scheme, along with a Dallas Cowboys-esque offensive line. I mean, you can stack the box all you want.
He might be able to go for 3,000 all-purpose, too. Like,
all-purpose easily. Yeah. All-purpose easily. But if we're just talking rushing, I mean, 3,000 over a 17-game schedule, that's asking a lot. You're talking just almost like 180, 190 a game. I'm going to do the number right now. It's ridiculous. But I think Barry could do it. I really do. I don't think it's
176.5 yards per game.
176.5. That's so doable. You get him, 28 carries a game? I think he could do it.
But that's are we playing realistically? Like that could you see a team giving him 30 carries a game and him getting that type of production?
He could totally
nowadays?
average 6 yards a carry.
No, I'm not saying because we're talking about now. We're talking about now. If Barry drop him in today's NFL, a team that's going to commit 30 carries to him, and offensive line, I agree with you. If he had a great offensive line, who knows what Barry could be? I think a realistic number for me, I would see it would be 2,000 and something. I don't know about 3K. I think that would be. I mean, who knows? If anyone could do it, it's Barry. If I had to pick one person, realistically though, I think the league now has changed so much in terms of. I know Kyle Shanahan, the run scheme first offense, but at the end of the day, like. Not a lot of teams are fully committing the run like that. I think I'll give you an example. Derrick Henry, 2 years ago, he went for 2K yards. He had 378 touches that year. With Barry and his highest, his career year high, he had over 2,000 yards. He played in 16 games, of course, but he had 335. So give him 50 more attempts. Let's give him close to 400. Can he get another 1,000 yards? That's the question.
Yeah.
And with a better offensive line. I'm going to say, as long as I love and respect Barry,
I think he could pull it off.
I think 3K rushing is a stretch. I think 3K all-purpose. I think he can get like 2,400 and like 500 yards.
He could totally
like
rush
that.
I'll tell you why he could totally
3,000.
rush for 176 a game. Because there's going to be a game where he has 80, 70 yards, whatever. But there's going to be 2-3 games in the year where he goes for 300 plus. Minimum 300 plus. With an offensive line and a run game scheme designed to get him in open space. Why was Barry so good the year he ran for 2,000 yards? Didn't the genius put a fullback in front of him? And then when he stopped doing it, things kind of turned around. And Barry basically dominated the last 14 games of the season.
Yeah.
You get Barry in space, there's nothing worse seeing in the NFL as a defender than Barry Sanders one-on-one in the open field. He broke John Lynch's ankles. I'm sure you guys remember it. He made the Dallas Cowboys defenseman turn around 3, 4, 5, 6 times without even realizing it. Barry Sanders in the open field is a problem. And you look at Deebo Samuel, how effective he is in Kyle Shanahan's offense. Imagine Barry Sanders. Imagine Barry Sanders with actual holes to run through. Not just pivoting, cutting, and changing direction. Yeah, I think Barry could do it. Maybe I'm on drugs right now. I don't know. Barry, for me, is the greatest of all time at that position.
Yeah.
I don't think he's overrated. I think that's a ridiculous statement.
Absolutely.
We're talking a guy that could do things no other run. Guys, when we talk about the greatest of all time, why is Brady the greatest quarterback of all time? Because he does things no other quarterback could or has ever done. 7 Super Bowls. Consistent winning. Dynasties. Okay? Why is Jerry Rice considered, and really could put Randy Moss and Calvin in that conversation, the greatest receivers ever? They did things nobody else could do. Randy down the field was impossible.
Yeah. And the league was more physical, too.
Calvin, unguardable.
Yeah.
Jerry Rice, full route tree. Tony Gonzalez, Rob Gronkowski, Ray Lewis. Deion Sanders, why are they considered the greatest or one of the greatest at their positions? Because they did things nobody else could do. Reggie White, Lawrence Taylor, Aaron Donald, they did things nobody in their position could do.
Yep.
Barry did something Walter Payton couldn't, Emmitt Smith couldn't, and no running back in the history of the NFL has ever replicated it. That is why Barry, to me, is the greatest of all time. And again, we're going to talk about, do we think he could rush for 3,000? I guess that's just an opinion. Maybe it's a bit much, 176 yards a game. I don't care. I think he could do it.
I would want to see Barry in today's NFL and out the backfield as a receiving threat. Like that guy back then, he was already getting a couple hundred yards a season. Imagine nowadays in the pass first league we have, Barry, is dangerous as he was running the football. I think he could be just as dangerous nowadays catching the football. I mean, imagine, you talk about the physicality of the NFL back then. Now it's an offensive league, offensively driven. So Barry's going to strive. It's just a matter of how they use him. And I think in today's NFL, you can use him in a lot of different ways.
And in today's NFL,
so many different
higher
ways.
tempo.
Yes.
You don't kill the running backs like you used to back in the day. And to be fair to Barry, I mean, he still had 4 or 5 years left when he retired. He wasn't. You could never hit Barry. So it didn't matter if he played in the 30s, 40s. Didn't matter what era. You were never touching him. Mm-hmm. And in a league where it's basically almost two-hand touch at this point. I mean, Barry Sanders, maybe I'm going too far with 3,000. But 2,500, easily.
Easy, yeah.
27, for sure.
Yeah.
3, I think he could be the one out of any running back to do it.
You're correct.
I just think he's the only one that could do it.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Only running back that could do it.
His home run running ability alone. Yeah. I mean, over a course of 17 games, I would be willing to bet he would take a carry for over 60 yards. At least 15 to 20 times. That's already 1,000 to 1,200 yards. Mm-hmm. That's just off 20 carries. Look, I really think he could do it. He's just insane. I'm talking in 17-game schedule, by the way, not in a 16-game schedule.
Yeah, 17,
so
the
let's
extra
clarify
game.
that.
With a good offensive line. I mean, we're playing hypotheticals, but that's the fun part about this.
You give him the Dallas offensive line in the 90s, he goes for 2,000 yards 2, 3, 4 times probably.
Yeah, yeah.
And you have to remember, when you play for the Detroit Lions in the 90s, half of those were losing seasons, which means you're throwing the ball to Herman Moore and Scott. I mean, you're throwing the ball trying to win football games. And it wasn't as often as today's NFL, obviously. But look, I just think Barry was just so different. And, Jeff, I don't know, have you ever watched Barry Sanders' Hall of Fame introduction?
I have. Yep.
See what his dad said about him?
I don't remember
when he introduced
exactly.
him.
What did he say?
This is like one of the craziest things I've ever watched in my life. His dad, no joke, introduces him and says, basically introducing the second greatest running back of all time, my son, Barry Sanders.
Oh, he's sad.
Like, because he's a big Jim Brown guy.
Yeah.
And I never understood that. I don't know. My dad was, my dad's very similar to Barry Sanders' dad. My dad never complimented me playing sports growing up. And I think that's what probably made me pretty decent at playing sports. Is I always had this motivation to prove my dad wrong, but. Jesus Christ. Imagine a Hall of Fame situation. Hall of Fame scenario. You achieved what very few do ever in their lifetimes. You're one of the greats. And not only one of, you're considered the greatest. And your father goes up there and throws a diss at you. It's unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't.
Savage.
Seriously. His dad was a savage. But I guess, look, man, you raise your kids tough. It works out. It really does. I do want to pivot real quick. We have a few minutes. The latest mock draft coming out for the Detroit Lions, I don't want to spend too much time on it, but it's getting more, I would say, people are starting to hype up Malik Willis to the extent where he's now in the top 10 in terms of being drafted on these mock drafts. And all I'm going to say, you guys know how I feel about taking him at number 2. I'm not with it. But all I will say is, Detroit Lions fans, and Jeff, you included, get comfortable with people talking about the Detroit Lions taking Malik Willis at number 2. I'm not saying they will. I'm not saying they should. Get comfortable with it. That's going to be the talk up until April, I'll tell you that. And it's already pissing me off.
Yeah.
But, again, I can't control it. I don't think you take that. I don't think you take him at number 2. I think you stick with Aiden Hutchinson if the Jaguars don't select him.
I know. I watched Aiden yesterday on Pat McAfee, man. He's a joy to watch, just to listen to him speak. They asked him a question about his bench reps, and he's like, how much could you get on 225? He's like, I could probably do 35. It's like, what the hell? How nonchalant that was. Aiden's a beast, man. And I don't care. Malik Willis, I think I'm not going to sit here and say he's going to be a bust. I just think, too, absolutely not. I love Aiden Hutchinson. I'm going to stick by that. And that's who I'm starting to fall in love with closer to the draft. So I'm Team Aiden, man. I'm sorry, Malik. Maybe I could see him going in the teens. That's probably where my worth is for Malik. Maybe at Pittsburgh. I don't know about top 10. That's tough. I mean, you think Carolina falls in love with him that much where he's like, maybe we'll take him?
Okay, look, the OJ was better than Barry thing. That is a fair argument to make, considering he got 2,000 yards in 14 games. That's fair. OJ in his prime was ridiculous. But it was a short-lived prime. And so was Jim Brown's, and we still consider him the greatest running back of all time. So maybe that's fair. I'm actually not going to be upset with that. I'm really not. I think that's great. We got to go to break. When we get back, NFL award ceremony. All right, season's up. Super Bowl's upon us. I believe the award ceremony is tonight. So me and Jeff are going to give you who we believe will win. And not only who we believe will win, but who we think should win all the coveted awards. MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, both offensive and defensively, and, of course, Coach of the Year. So me and Jeff will hand out our awards.
Yep.
After the break. But before we go, Maddie, who do I have to tell these lovely people about?
You need to tell them about your favorite vodka.
Oh, damn right. Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest and best tasting vodka on the market. Locally owned and operated up in Petoskey, Michigan. Michigan's vodka. It's referred to, it's gluten-free. And as always, people, you ask for it by the name of Gypsy wherever you may be. Again, ask for it by the name of Gypsy, and please drink responsibly.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers.
Monday, February 21st from 11 to 1 p.m. Join Woodward Sports and Big D Energy for the grand opening of the Berkeley Chili Peppers Tanning on Woodward between 11 and 12 Mile. Come hang and join the Pepper Club. Best deals on unlimited tanning.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Your Detroit alternative to the normal sports blah, blah, blah. It's Woodward Sports.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Guys, it's time to give away some awards. Where do we want to start?
We'll start Coach of the Year.
Okay. All right.
This is a tough one for me. I rode this guy all season. I really think he's deserving of it, but I'm sorry. Handing out the awards after the postseason is basically almost over. It's tough for me not to take it into consideration. It's got to be Zach Taylor. I wanted Matt LaFleur all season, rode hard for him. The loss against the Lions kind of put a sour taste, I think, in voters' mouths. And then they lost to the Niners. That doesn't help them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zach Taylor. Zach Taylor, for me, Coach of the Year. Vrabel, you could have made an argument for, given what he had to endure all season. Missing his best player, basically, for a majority of the year. Missing A.J. Brown, missing Julio Jones.
That's me.
They were still the 1 seed in the AFC. So, look, I think there are 3 coaches that deservingly so deserve to be mentioned, and if you awarded it to any of the 3 I'm about to name, I would not be upset. Matt LaFleur, Mike Vrabel, Zach Taylor, but for me, it's Zach Taylor.
For me, it's Mike Vrabel. And I'm looking at situation, and number 1, it's a regular season award, so let's get that straight. Coach of the Year in the regular season, Mike Vrabel. Look at what he's had to deal with. He's had A.J. Brown, Julio Jones, swapping. One was out this game. Julio was out multiple games. A.J. comes back late in the season. Derrick Henry had him half the season. You have Ryan Tannehill at quarterback. Mike Vrabel, 12-5 win your division, I'm taking Vrabel. No question about it, concerning what's around him, what he had to do with given what I think if you look up a stat, the Tennessee Titans had the most players coming in off of practice squads, coming off of because of COVID violations. They had the least amount to work with, and Vrabel turned chicken, you know what, into chicken soup. So give me Mike Vrabel. Hell of a job this year, man. 12-5, won the AFC. Now the playoffs came a little short, but no doubt in the regular season, what he had to deal with and what he overcame, it's no question Mike Vrabel. For Coach of the Year, what's the next award you want to name?
The next one we're going to do, obviously, I think everyone highly anticipated, MVP.
Okay.
Again, I wrote Aaron Rodgers all year.
But he's a jerk.
He's a jerk. Look, I think Aaron is deserving of the award. I really do. But damn it, this is why I have a look. Again, it is a regular season award. I get it. I really do.
Yep.
I really understand it.
Don't say Joe Burrow because he's in the Super Bowl.
Makes me. Look, I'll tell you my voting. Okay. How about I'll give you that and who I think wins it and should win it. I think Rodgers wins it. I think he should win it. Joe Burrow is a close second, and I would not be upset. And I think he's more deserving of it than Aaron. But I think Aaron just put up too good of a year. The best record in the NFL. 40-plus touchdowns, single-digit interceptions. Like, you can't not give him the MVP.
Yeah.
You just can't. So, for me, it's Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I would agree. I think 1 and 2, it's Aaron Rodgers, Joe Burrow, and maybe the reason you'd shift towards Aaron, best record in the NFL. Obviously, MVP. He walked into Arizona, and don't give me the Arizona sucks crap, because this is before they had the collapse. Walked into Arizona without Devontae Adams, multiple receivers out. He still won in State Farm Stadium. So I'll give it to Aaron Rodgers. I think MVP. Joe Burrow has a great case for him. But at the end of the day, we're taking into account the regular season and what the record looked like at the end of the season. I'm giving it to Aaron Rodgers. I think agreeing. Now, I wouldn't be mad if Joe Burrow won it, but if we're going off my opinion, I'm going to stick with Aaron.
Look, I'm curious. Didn't OJ come out with a book where he basically said, if I did it, this is how I would have done it?
Yes.
Yeah, the guy's guilty.
Yes, he is.
Prosecution, they suck. I don't even want to get into that case, to be honest with you. If you think he didn't do it, that's fine. Good for you. I wish the best for you.
And by the way, might I add this? Don't forget about Brady either. I'm glad people are bringing Brady up.
No.
But he's in that conversation because of terms of he was number one in passing touchdowns, number one in passing yards, second in QBR, had the same record as Aaron Rodgers, and had more injuries that season. So it's like he's got a case at 44 years old. But I'm going to slide to Aaron Rodgers a little bit, even though I wouldn't be mad. Those three, Aaron, Joe Burrow, Tom Brady, I'm good with all three of them.
You guys have any Cooper Kupp in any of your conversations?
I want to, but no, they would never do it. And
yeah.
I mean, I said it early on in the season.
Mm-hmm.
He should be the MVP, but this season didn't play out. He didn't break Calvin's record. Maybe he gets Offensive Player of the Year. We'll see, but that's the next one.
Yeah.
Offensive Player of the Year. Jeff, who do you got?
Gotta be Cooper Kupp. And the year he's had, how important he is to the Los Angeles Rams' success. You could talk about number one wide receivers. He is a number one and a possibly number two. Like, after Robert Woods went down, he was everything for the Rams, and when he plays well, the Rams win. So give me Cooper Kupp offensively, man. He had a hell of a year. If you would have broke Calvin's record, it would have been the icing on the cake. But you can't discount what he's done this year. Given a 17th game, I could care less. Cooper Kupp deserves it. Offensively, having the career numbers he's had, the Triple Crown winner, like, no question in my mind, man. Cooper Kupp. If you want to give it to Jonathan Taylor, you can spit your argument out, but it's Cooper Kupp to me. No question.
Cooper Kupp, 1,000%. He was not only the best offensive player in the NFL this year, I think legitimately he was the best player in the NFL this year.
Yeah.
Maybe outside of his own teammate, Aaron Donald. When they release the NFL Top 100 next season, I expect it to be Aaron Donald number one, Cooper Kupp number two. Cooper Kupp, Offensive Player of the Year, unbelievable season.
Yeah.
The most yards, receiving yards, in a single season, including the postseason in NFL history, and he still has the Super Bowl to play. Unbelievable season. Unbelievable. Cooper Kupp, outstanding, well-deserved. Defensive Player of the Year, TJ Watt.
22.5 sacks, baby. Has to be.
TJ Watt, look, last year, I was one of the guys that said, look, TJ Watt's having a great year, but it's Aaron Donald. I was on the Aaron Donald train. He won it. Good for him. I don't think Donald gets it this year. Although you could argue he is the best defensive player in the NFL. Sorry, 22.5 sacks. Tough for me not to give it to him. TJ Watt, Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, 22.5 sacks, 1 sack shy of breaking the record, and you had 5 forced fumbles. Like, You could argue a legitimate argument if the Pittsburgh Steelers won more games, he'd be in the MVP conversation. That's T.J. Watt for you. Dominant, and he had almost a career high in quarterback hits. He was just great all season. Now he missed 2 games, and he had 22.5 sacks. So process that. What he would have had if he played 17. It would have definitely broke the record. So give me T.J. Watt as Defensive Player of the Year. Easy.
And you could honestly mention T.J. Watt for most valuable player, given
Definitely.
that the Steelers could not do anything really without him on the field. He is their X factor. He is what kept them really alive to even have a winning season.
Yeah.
Let alone a non-losing season, if that's what you want to call it. But anyways.
Go to the rookies.
Here we go. Offensive Rookie of the Year. I don't think there's much debate for this award or the next.
No.
Mac Jones. Joking.
Oh, I love this. I love
face.
it.
I wish you had the camera on Jeff when I did that.
What the
No,
heck?
Jamar Chase, clearly the offensive rookie of the year.
Mac Jones.
Outstanding set rookie
But Mac
records.
Jones was gritty during the Pro Bowl.
He was showing off, Mac Jones.
Look, for all of you Stafford dumbasses that want to tell me Stafford only played in 1 Pro Bowl or whatever the number was, Mac Jones was in a Pro Bowl. It just tells you how nobody gives a F about
Kirk
it.
Cousins was in it this year.
That is not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
The Pro Bowl used to be, something prestigious. It meant something. Now it doesn't mean crap.
Yep.
Anyways, Jamar Chase, clearly the offensive rookie of the year. I mean, the amount of double-digit touchdowns, 1,400+ yards. Guys, they slated the Bengals when they drafted him. It worked out. Boy, did it work out. Came onto the scene, big first game, quieted down midway into the year, but kept it back up. And in the playoffs, he's been a big factor in why they've been winning games. Jamar Chase, offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, easily. I mean, the most receiving yards by a rookie in NFL history. Give me Jamar Chase. As dominant as he's been his first year, and we talked about this earlier, it's a pass-first league, and he's benefited from it. He's explosive. He has this guy in Joe Burrow, throwing him the football. Give me Jamar Chase easily, offensive rookie of the year. If you want to make a second, I'll give it to Mac Jones. But no, first, no doubt, it's Jamar Chase. And then defensive rookie of the year, I think we'd similarly probably agree there. It's got to be Micah Parsons. If you're looking at all the rookies, he had the greatest rookie year in terms of what he was able to do, getting after the quarterback. His sideline-to-sideline speed showed out for the Dallas Cowboys, and now late in the season, it didn't end how we liked him, how they liked it to end. But at the same time, Micah was dominant all year. He was consistent, and he was a big part of why that Dallas defense revamped itself, along with Trayvon Diggs. So, defensive player or defensive rookie of the year, give me Micah Parsons.
100% Parsons. I don't think it's close. Pitts is an honorable mention. The first tight end to get 1,000 yards since Ditka.
Yeah.
That's a big thing in his rookie year. I love this comment though. The Pro Bowl lost all meaning. And it was ruined when fan voting became a thing. Thank you, God. Somebody else agrees with me. The fact that idiots at home get to vote on who gets to get in the Pro Bowl or the NBA All-Star Weekend or NHL is one of, if not the dumbest thing I've ever heard of in my life.
I was going to say, they do that in every sport now.
It is the dumbest thing ever. It is so stupid. It doesn't even make sense to me. Oh, we want to promote fan interaction and we want them to be part of the game. So something that is taken into account when people are inducted into the Hall of Fame. You're giving fans the opportunity to dictate who gets in and who doesn't.
They should have an opportunity, but it should be like 5%.
It should be
a massive
1%.
percent.
Or they should be able to vote what color the football is going to be for that game. Fans shouldn't be allowed to vote on who gets to win an award, who gets to go to the Pro Bowl. Fans are stupid 90% of the time. Fan voting.
They should
one
get,
of the dumbest things I've ever seen.
They should get like a 5% vote, and then the judges say, "Oh, this guy LeBron James has a big percentage vote. Oh, we don't like LeBron James. Boot him out." They just see what the fans think. They don't have to go with it.
Why don't the fans vote for who coaches the Pro Bowl, who the referees are, not who the players are.
No.
Nobody cares. Jesus Christ, stupid fan voting.
Why would you want the fans to vote the refs?
Because the fans are stupid. I don't care what they do. But they're not allowed to dictate who gets to be in the Pro Bowl. That's so stupid. It really is. No one can convince me otherwise.
So you don't like the fan interaction that they have?
No, I don't. I think fans should shut the hell up and watch a game.
Got it.
Well, because you can't pick who's going to be in the game and then complain about how crappy the game is.
I mean, that's just an evolution of how the game is going.
Yeah,
but that's
still.
idiots. You can't control idiots.
I don't know. I think coaches and players, the peers of those individuals should be voting, not some fan. And I love Tammy's comment. The NFL All-Star Game should have a fan vote for one player and call it a fan vote, not the whole yes.
Yeah, I like that.
You can get one player in.
I
The
like
one
that.
player with the most votes who hasn't been elected will get in. How about that? right?
Well,
so there's one spot reserved for fans to fill in.
Yeah, but when you say hasn't to get selected, the fans would probably choose a person that would have been selected.
But that's the point. They have to select somebody who's deserving, but maybe people are not appreciating him enough. Who knows?
Underrated? I like that.
Just stop with the fan voting stuff. Moving on. Comeback player of the year, Jeff Ivory.
Joey Burrow. And that's my pick. Listen, comeback player of the year. We're talking about a guy who tore his ACL last year, 1 year after, in the Super Bowl, won his division, one of the toughest divisions in football, 10-6 or 10-7. So give me the Bengals, man. They had quite the year, and it was all thanks to that guy Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. So Joe Burrow, comeback player of the year. I was leaning a little towards Dak at the beginning of the year, but now looking back, it's definitely Joe Burrow. No question about it.
Let me think here. I don't think there's any other answer outside of Joe Burrow. I think it was Dak Prescott for, I would say, the first 5-6 games of the year.
Yeah.
And then he really fell off. Joe Burrow, 100%, especially now he's made the playoff run. Maybe you don't want to use it. And I don't care, though. I really think coming off an ACL injury.
Yeah.
They won their division.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me Joe Burrow. And he played in a harder division than Dallas.
Definitely.
Joe Burrow over Dak Prescott for that award any day of the week. We got to go to break. When we get back, will the Detroit Pistons make any moves before the trade deadline? So help me God.
Well, I don't think you're
Is
making
Troy
any
Weaver
moves.
even awake right now?
He might be sleeping.
I haven't gotten anything on my phone.
9:30 should be awake.
9:37. Troy should be up wheeling and dealing.
Trade deadline, by the way.
Troy's working the phones. He's working the phones.
Trade deadline, by the way, ends today at 3 o'clock Eastern.
Yep, 3 o'clock. Good job, Fish.
If he's not traded before 3 o'clock, honestly, I can't guarantee you that tomorrow's show won't involve me becoming an anarchist.
Well, you're not going to like the stat. Well, it's not really a stat. It's my stat, so you can take it for granted.
Well, I'm going to be an arsonist tomorrow. I'm going to light this whole place on fire.
I think they have a 20% of chance of trading him. It doesn't look positive for trading Jeremy Grant, I'll tell you that.
Well, if I have to make a bet, he's not going to get traded. And with that being said, can you tell us about my bookie?
Yeah, I can tell you about my bookie. It doesn't let you down like freaking Troy Weaver does by not trading Jeremy Grant.
It is early in the morning.
Shut the hell up, Fish.
Some parts of the country. Okay, cool.
Bet from anywhere, anytime using my bookie. Sign up today using code Woodward. They'll match you dollar for dollar. You put in $1, they'll give you $1. Don't be cheap. Put in $100, they'll match you $100. Put in $200-$300, they'll match you $200-$300. Guys, my bookie is the place to bet. Super Bowl Sunday, take advantage of it. Individual prop bets, the money line, the spread, doesn't matter what you're betting on. Over, under for Stafford touchdowns, who knows? Take your bets at my bookie. If you have a gambling problem, please call the Gambling Problem Hotline at 1-800-270-7117.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
An event, 10 years in the making. Sunday, February 13th, Woodward Sports, Gypsy Vodka, and Syntron present the Stafford Bowl.
Hurry up!
Live broadcast at the Brass Rail in Detroit.
Hey, keep stacking these drives now. Keep stacking these drives. Gotta have good ones every time we touch the ball.
Come out with all of your friends for our pregame and stay for the watch party.
Big drive right here, all right? We got to keep pouring it on. Good fundamentals. Let's punch another one in. All right, big drive. Let's go.
The entire Woodward staff will be at the Brass Rail as Matthew Stafford and the Rams take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Come experience the Stafford Bowl on massive big screens, drinks, pizza, and DJs. One day, the Lions will make it there. Until then, we have Matthew Stafford and the Stafford Bowl.
Let's go! That's unbelievable! That's unbelievable, and you know it. You know it is, though.
See you Sunday at the Brass Rail with Woodward Sports.
Welcome back. Thanks for hanging out with us this morning on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. No trades have been going on just yet for the Pistons. Jeff, do you think anything's going to happen today?
I'll tell you what my gut feels, and I don't think anything's going to happen today. That's what my gut is telling me, because you look at the suitors, okay, Portland Trail Blazers, that's a good advocate and a good trade partner for the Pistons. I would sit here and say C.J. McCollum, he's already gone. And that's a great point by Charles McLean in the chat. Like, what are you getting from the Portland Trail Blazers that is going to entice you to trade Jeremy Grant? Okay, they got a first-round pick in the trade for C.J. McCollum, maybe a first-round pick. Who else? I'm not one that wants Troy to make a deal because he has to make a deal. I want the best deal. And if that has to come near the NBA draft, so be it. Now, I'm a person who understands that his value is worth more than it will be next season because of the longevity that teams will have Jeremy Grant. If you're a contender, you want Jeremy for the next 30 games and next year. But if you have to wait till the NBA draft and get a deal done around that time, maybe you acquire a first-round pick in the draft or you acquire a player, I'm good with that. I really don't see the Pistons making a trade before 3 o'clock. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. My advice would be don't force it. And Jeremy Grant, listen, I want him traded just as much as the next guy. I respect Jeremy, but he has to go in terms of where we are as a franchise. I just don't want Troy picking up phones for the sake of picking up the phones. It depends what suitors are calling for him. And if it's only Portland and the deal's not on the table, and Troy I trust enough to where he's going to want what he's going to want. He's not going to go any lower than that. I'm good. Right now, it's kind of similar to how we feel about the Red Wings and stuff, and even the Lions to this extent. I trust Troy Weaver. I do.
Okay, the reports are they want 2 first-round picks, okay?
Yeah.
They're not getting that next year. If you get Jeremy Grant right now, and let's say you're a contending team and you're trying to make a playoff push, you get him for 2 playoff runs by trading for him today. That is significantly more value than trading for him next year where you get 30 games, 1 playoff run, and then he's on an expiring deal.
100%. It just depends what's on the table.
Again, I know you don't want to force it, but his value today will be higher than it will be next season. That is a fact. That will not change.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know what the offers are on the table. And if Troy Weaver does decide not to trade him, will I lose my mind a little bit? Yeah, I will. But the team doesn't need him on the court. You got to trade him. If you can at least get a 1 and some awful bench player, just do it. Just do it. Look, I know you don't want to trade him for you know, what's the phrase? You don't want to trade him for peanuts?
Yeah, peanuts.
But I don't know. To me, it's more of a detriment to the basketball team on the court with him there. I think they're worse with him on the court, especially when Cade's available. He's a selfish player. He forces it. And look, you said it. Don't force the trade. Fine. You know what? I can accept that. There's got to be a trade out there. You can't tell me Portland hasn't offered something, at least of value.
Mm-hmm. Now, I will say this. Was Troy Offer's asking price for Jeremy too high to now
I think so.
To now we're hours away from the deadline and we're trying to figure it out? Probably. And teams might have backed off. That's why you saw so many deals being done without Jeremy Grant being dealt anywhere. But at the same time, I'm talking right now. It's almost 10 o'clock on trade deadline day. I would be upset, like you said, I'd be upset if he wasn't traded and he started next season with us. I would be furious. But
do you
if he's
think
dealt
they
by
can get 2 first-round picks for him right now?
I don't even know if you can get 2 first-rounders, period.
Thank you. Can they do it next year?
Definitely not.
Hell no.
Definitely not next year.
No team is trading 2 first-round picks for a guy for what, 1 playoff run?
You don't know if he's staying.
You get him for 2 playoff runs if you trade him now.
And I see
get
it
1
right there.
first-round pick.
Yeah.
Some average player and maybe a second. Who knows? You got to accept it. You're not getting 2 firsts for him. I'm sorry. That's too much. I wouldn't trade 2 first-round picks for Jeremy Grant, even if I was the Blazers and I had an abundance of picks.
Right.
Didn't matter. Not trading for Jeremy Grant. I don't know, man. They got to make this deal.
Yeah,
they
it's
really
like,
do.
It's like if you're Portland, or if you're the Pistons in this case, and you have Portland offering you, okay, I'll give you the Pelicans' first-round pick. It is protected, and I'll give you Anthony. Like, okay. Now, it's an enticing deal, but at the same time, to my original point, I trust Troy Weaver when he first got to the Pistons, man, was a deal maker, deal machine. He was making trades left and right. This year, he's been quiet. So I'm willing to wait. I'm willing to give him a chance till the deadline, or not the deadline, excuse me, the draft, because you could still get a deal done by the NBA draft. But I agree with you 100%. Like if you're a contending team, the ideal situation is to acquire Jeremy right now and have 2 playoff runs with him and have a longer duration with him. So hopefully he can resign. Because if you trade for him next year, you have him for possibly 1 year and he might walk away. So depending on where he's traded to. So I'll wait and see. Right now, I only see one real trade partner, and that's the Portland Trailblazers. I think a lot of teams are kind of sitting put. You have, the Nets with the Philadelphia 76ers.
Fan, what are you talking about?
Tough.
They got Gary Harris, R.J. Hampton, and a protected first-round pick. So the first-round pick isn't even a thing. R.J. Hampton is okay. Gary Harris is nice. What the hell? What do you expect for Jeremy Grant is my question. You're not getting 2 first-round picks. You're not. You really aren't. So, yeah, you want to keep him for another year? I think that's more detrimental. Because I think him on the basketball court, and Jeff, I want your opinion on this.
Yeah.
Hurts the team more than it helps it. My opinion. When Cade is healthy on the court, I think Jeremy Grant is a detriment to the basketball
and there's evidence
team.
of that. When he left the floor, Sadiq, Cade plays.
All started getting better. Killian Hayes. Guys, I don't need 4 ball handlers on the court at one time. I don't need Killian, Sadiq, and Cade, and then Jeremy Grant on the court. Yeah. That's too much. You got to trade him, man. I think he's just too much of a detriment, even if it may not be the best deal to keep on the team. Because then what? You trade him midway into next year, you've hindered another 40, 50, 60, 70 games of Killian, Cade, and Sadiq's development. For me, it's not worth it.
No, definitely not. And I'm going to stick by that point, and I do trust Troy Weaver. If he wants to wait, no issue with it. Now, ideally, I do want to see Jeremy Grant go to a team and we get something before the deadline so we can kind of cruise off into the end of the regular season with kind of an idea and a plan, the assets you're getting. But, man, listen, like I trust Weaver enough to where he'll make a deal. Like, whether it's here, whether it's at the deadline, he'll find a trade partner. And maybe it's a case of Troy doesn't like the deal 100%. And if he doesn't fully love the deal, don't do it. Don't force it. And I agree with you 100%. If we're talking fit, I'm not going to argue Jeremy Grant should stay. Like, fit-wise, you saw Cade's play improve. You saw Sadiq's play improve when he was hurt. Now, the argument still stands. Cade, Sadiq, and Jeremy haven't played a lot of games together. I understand that. But we've seen it already, what he looks like when he's not on the floor. So hopefully he gets a deal done, but at the same time, I'm good with it. I'll wait till the draft. I don't have an issue with it.
I'm not.
Next season,
really
I'll
not.
be furious. Next season, I'll be furious.
I don't know, man. I don't like it. Why would a team trade? There's more value in trading him now than before the draft. The playoff run is already over.
Yeah.
So you're only getting him for one season.
If you're looking at the optics of it, you're correct. But it depends on if the best deal is now, and Troy's like, listen, he's giving me 1 first-round pick and a bench player. Maybe he feels like, I'm good on that. If you wait till the draft and you get a worse deal, that's on. We're gonna have to revisit this conversation.
And I wouldn't play down Sadiq. I really think he can develop into a very good number 2, maybe number 3 player.
Yeah.
I really do believe that. Having said that, I don't think Jeremy Grant is a good fit for this basketball team. I don't. I really think he's a problem.
Yeah, ball stopper.
I think he's too selfish, and he's too about himself. I don't need that on the court. Cade's the star. He's the 1A. He's the alpha. He's the leader of this team. Accept it. Jeremy Grant thinks he's a 1 or 2. He's barely a 3 on a good team. Sorry. Hopefully they trade him.
Yeah.
If he sticks around, I don't know. It's going to be tough to watch Pistons basketball. It really is.
You're not wrong on that. We got till 3 o'clock after.
They're not going to get any better. We got to go to break. When we get back, it's mailbag time.
It is.
Start getting your questions in the chat. But before we go, I got to tell you about our new studio sponsor and friend in Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is not only the new studio sponsor for the Woodward Sports Network, but home of the judgment-free zone. You could consider this a judgment-free studio, but sometimes the way I talk, maybe that's not so true. Having said that, guys, $0 down, $10 a month. Start today. Take your fitness very seriously this year. Please, your mental and physical health are extremely important. Your fitness is essential. As Planet Fitness always says, a judgment-free zone and a judgment-free working out environment. Take advantage of it. Locations all around Metro Detroit. Guys, don't miss it. $0 down, $10 a month. Planet Fitness. We'll see you after the break.
Here at Woodward Sports, we're always up for a good cause and a good time. This year we present the 2022 Cupid Run. Yeah, you heard right. Time to get in our underwear and run the streets of Detroit. For the last 12 years, we've stripped down, ran in the cold, and partied to raise money to help fund research to end NF. February 12th, join the staff from Woodward Sports and hundreds of other beautiful people downtown at the Tin Roof. You can register as an individual or your team today at woodwardsports.com. So start doing those squats, sit-ups, or just some 12-ounce curls. And get ready for Cupid's Undie Run 2022. Sponsored by the awesome people at Gypsy Vodka, Cintron, and Planet Fitness. We'll see you February 12th at the Tin Roof. In our underwear. Thank you to Chili Peppers Tanning.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you guys for joining us this morning. Mailbag time to get some questions in. Jeff, we'll start with this. Would you throw in Killian Hayes to entice more offers for Jeremy Grant, Jeff?
This hurts me. I don't want to, considering where we are as a franchise. I think Killian has still room to grow. He hasn't even hit 100 career games yet, and I don't think his value is as high as other teams look at it from our perspective. Like we understand Killian's still a project. Other players are looking at his 8 points per game and his low efficiency numbers and aren't too concerned. So I don't think so. I really don't.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I still think Killian Hayes has good upside, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
Again, it's Jeremy Grant. Stop acting like you're going to get a few ones and some nice player that can develop. It's not going to happen. It's Jeremy freaking Grant. And you know what? Teams know the Pistons want to trade him. Value is not going to be as high as you think it's going to be, especially next year.
Oh, yeah.
Moving on, what is your favorite sports moment ever that you've witnessed? Detroit sports or not, doesn't matter. Jeff?
Mine would be the 3-1 comeback by LeBron, just because I watched that entire series game by game. And that was the first time in my lifetime
mute his mic.
I've ever seen.
Mute his mic.
Ever seen.
Mute his mic.
A man down 3-1 comeback like that.
LeBron James.
So give me LeBron's comeback down 3-1 against one of the arguably the best team of all time. So that's probably mine. I'm a big basketball guy, so personally that's mine.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. LeBron James.
I'm sure
huh?
you were watching it too.
LeBron James, huh?
I'm sure you were tuning in.
How old
your
are you,
popcorn.
21 years old?
You were watching LeBron
21
lead.
years old. That's what you pick. Out of everything you could have picked.
I mean, the second thing would be Pistons winning the championship.
Oh.
But no, yeah, LeBron coming back 3-1.
I'm so disappointed in you.
History, baby.
I've never been more disappointed in you in my life.
That's fine. I loved it. I loved it.
Now you know how I feel, Jeff.
Watching LeBron lead every single statistical category in that series and make him come back down 3-1. Give me that.
I lost so much respect for you right now.
Oh,
the greatest sports moment that I've ever witnessed. Non-Detroit, because I'll do both.
Was it about Russell Westbrook? Did it have to do with Russell Westbrook?
Let me start with Detroit, actually. Okay. My favorite Detroit sports moment was the game-winning or game-clinching Stanley Cup Final 2008 Detroit Red Wings, winning their first cup in, I want to say, 3-4 years? So it was a big deal. It was the first cup I witnessed where I was old enough to I could tell you every game. I could remember all the stats. I was old enough. You know, I was a child when they were going back-to-back. I was a child when the Pistons were, starting to become a good team. But for me, it was the Red Wings winning their cup.
Yeah.
That cup for me was super special. I remember where I was in that time. That for me was the greatest thing. Now, non-sports moment, I mean, it's got to be the Malcolm Butler interception at the goal line. I mean, we had never witnessed that in Super Bowl history. That was one of the landmark moments that I'll always remember, especially where I was.
And I can't even forget the Tom Brady comeback down 28-3. Like, there's a lot of moments in football, especially, man. I love it.
I love this question. Adam, how many sacks does Harambe get in a season? Harambe sets the NFL record with 113 sacks year one.
By the way,
with 17 murders.
I don't even think Panay Sewell could stay in front of them, dude. Like,
since you brought it up, his birthday was the day before his death.
What jackasses.
So
don't get Adam fired up.
I hate people. Oh, man, that's a good memory, actually. The 0-2 Wings beat the Avs 7-0 in Game 7. That is right, yep. That is absolutely correct.
I love these comments. Jeff needs to move to the couch.
Yeah, honestly, Jeff, I'm actually considering kicking you off the show, to be honest with you.
Wow,
we're going to have a meeting at 3:01 today after the NBA trade deadline.
Yeah.
If Grant isn't traded, you'll likely lose your job after that LeBron James comment.
Troy, please. Can we get a deal done, Troy?
I love Tammy's favorite Detroit sports moment. Pistons winning the championship in '89.
Oh, awesome.
McCarty with the game-winning goal against the Flyers. Tammy, those are two good ones. Oh, my goodness. How could we forget? And how could I go without mentioning Maglia Ordonez sending the Detroit Tigers to the World Series?
Oh, yeah.
Walk-off fashion. Unbelievable. You know, guys, I'll tell you a funny story. Well, I wouldn't say it's funny, but a good childhood story. Something you guys probably don't know about me. So at the time, 2006, tough times for the family.
California?
No, tough
Lebanon?
times for the family, Fish.
Okay.
We were moving, house to house every few months or so, whatever it was. My parents were working like super late shifts that night. It was just me and my at the time he was 13-year-old brother. I was 9 years old. And we were just watching the game. We were up because our parents were at home, so we could stay up. It didn't really matter. And we had this big TV. And when he hit the walk-off, me and my brother went crazy. Tried to call our dad. He wouldn't answer. Mom wouldn't answer. They're at work. And They come home that night. We like freak out. Oh my God, the Tigers won. Oh my God, the Tigers won. And my dad ends up getting tickets to game 3 and 4, I believe.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So we end up going, and like one of the best moments. Again, they got swept, so that wasn't fun. But just as a kid, like those milestone moments you have as a kid, that was definitely one of them.
Did you stay for the trophy ceremony?
Hell no.
Why?
We walked the hell out.
Why?
F the Cardinals. Are you serious?
When are you going to see a trophy ceremony in person again?
Yeah, I'll see it when my team actually wins it, not when the opposing team wins it.
But
no.
in person. When are you going to see a trophy ceremony in person?
When have I seen a trophy?
No. When are you going to? That
When
was
am
your
I
one
going
chance
to?
to see a trophy ceremony in person.
I mean, I've seen enough. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen enough.
All right,
I'll wait on the Lions to deliver the goods for me. Sorry, my question got Jeff in trouble with Dictator Adham. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did, Christian. You just cost him his job, so you're going to figure out how you're going to pay for his salary every month moving forward. All right. The Fridge scoring a touchdown in the Super Bowl, that's a good one. I love sports moments. I really do.
Yeah.
I was at the game where Calvin broke the record, and that was awesome.
Oh,
but I was
wow.
at the game where McCarty got his hat trick, my favorite Red Wing.
Bob's been to some iconic
Bob
games.
is awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Michigan beating Ohio State 42-27. That was a thing. LeBron and the refs. Hey. No LeBron praising in this chat at all. I'm not accepting it.
Oh, the Tayshaun block on Reggie Miller.
Tayshaun block was a big deal.
I like that. I like that.
Stephon Diggs catch with no time left against
the miracle.
the Saints, the miracle in Minnesota.
Jesus.
All right, if 2 out of 3 leave in the NFC, and Wilson, Rodgers, and Kyler, are you more accepting of taking the quarterback at 34 to develop him in under a year? Honestly, Donald, even if they stay, I'm open to it.
Yeah.
I'm not open to taking a quarterback at number 2, though. And again, I'm not the GM. Doesn't matter what the hell I think, right? But I just think it's the wrong move. I really do. I'm totally against it. I don't see that guy. Outside of who? Kenny Pickett really is NFL ready?
Yeah.
I'm taking a guy at number 2 to sit him for a year? No, I'll pass. Give me an edge rusher, and then maybe I'll trade up and get a quarterback later. I'm just not interested. I'm really not. Last question before we go. Let's see, what do we got in here? Final question. Actually, you know what? I want to talk about more sports moments. This is a really good moment.
Yeah, I love it.
That and the 97 win over Ohio. Woodson running it back. That is a thing. McCarty stomping the turtle. Who could forget? No La China talk. Talk about this. That is my favorite comment of the day. God bless you.
No La China.
Wolverine Nation, yes. Thank you.
La China talk
And again,
aloud.
I'm telling all of you, don't be surprised. Tomorrow I do a show and I'm sitting in the middle of the TV. I'm sitting in the middle seat. TV's behind me. Don't be shocked. Jeff will be fired at 3:01.
You'll see me in the window.
If Jeremy Grant isn't traded.
You'll see me behind Adam in the window pounding. Let me in. Please.
Jeff will be gone.
Please.
And it'll be because of you. Not because of me. I didn't want this. I didn't do this. You did this.
He has to make
Remember
tough decisions.
That. You did this. You got him fired. Not me. We got to go. Thanks so much for tuning in this morning. Tomorrow is Friday. Let me tell you, I am so excited for tomorrow's show. We've got Super Bowl, narratives, bets, Detroit Lions. We've got it all tomorrow. I am so excited.
Stack show.
Big Friday show going into Super Bowl Sunday. We'll be doing this pregame show at the Brass Rail on Sunday. I'll be down there. Jeff, the whole crew is going to be down there. I'm excited. Guys, enjoy your Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
USA.
Make sure you leave a like before you head out. Thank you so much. God bless. And F LeBron James. We're up.
USA.